Hello. Hi, Remus. Hi, Shere Khan. I feel like for the first time in a week we had like a not rush start because I gave myself that extra 10 minutes. It felt like nothing went wrong in that preparation time. I mean, the Streamlab things went wrong, but we expected it to go wrong. Hi, Cookie. Hi, Selden. It feels like I'm talking to you like you're in trouble when I call you your full name. So this is just so much more comfy to me. You didn't do anything. You're fine. I saw an Armored Core video on Twitter. I lost one. And it's from a hentai artist I follow, but he also does a lot of video game clips with like Dark Souls stuff. And this video, it's him in a duel. And it has the text, imagine playing the Meta Slave whatever build and getting scared by a wheelchair. And his mech has like adorable little like triangle treads. And I didn't even know these parts existed because I never see anybody use them. What do you fucking shit on this guy? And then apparently the guy was so embarrassed that he didn't like try to fix his build to deal with it. He just left. Just nope, not rematching that. Heck work. Heck work. Oh, I need to check something. Okay, good. What are my stretches? What's the last one? Oh, yeah, I remember. I need to do 2 more. I'm forgetting my... Oh, that's gonna mess with my cameras. It's not even close to the cami stretch, is it? Can I face away from the camera when doing that stretch? Yeah, you're in the area. Why are you going to work? I was watching Kumi last night, and she's in Florida. And, like, their whole day is shut down. Oh my god, sis. I'll do this part away from the camera. It probably won't be that sexy, but... I don't even know if I lost tracking during that. My screen was gray the whole time. Ah. No tracking loss? Okay. I had a gray screen for the whole time. So I didn't know if my body was just like ragdoll frozen floating somewhere. Yep, gotta fix it. I can't believe I forgot. I can't believe. Why would I? Just go a little too much up. Too much up. Okay. Sometimes, guys, the music I have going, it's louder for me than it is for you. And it gets so loud that I have trouble thinking sometimes. I just have, like, aggressive jazz music going in my head. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something. What do I need to do? Hi, Smug. Aggressive jazz, hell yeah. Oh my god. I am good. I didn't get as much done as I wanted yesterday. I ended up just taking a nap, and what did I do after that? Hi, Lo Fam. What did I do yesterday? I did get the YouTube extension. I made sure to at least do that. So we shouldn't have a problem with the whole, are you still here? Lofam, have you ever seen this zone? It's from Shadow. You played Shadowlands. You've seen it. Hello, fam. Did the raid go good? No. I still had fun. It was still with the boys, so it was like, this is a good time. But we're at the point where, like, a lot of people are either switching to alt. I'm wanting to switch to an alt. Or people aren't showing up. And so we're having to pug, and, like, we just had really low DPS yesterday. Our DPS was just down there. And so it was like, there's one boss that has a Zerg mechanic. So you fight him in the middle. He gets to, after a certain amount of time, he goes to one of the sides. All the DPS follows that side instead of splitting into two groups. You get him down fast enough so that there's not many ads built up. Then you go back to the middle and fight him there. There's a Zerg mechanic where if you get him down low enough in that first, like, 30 seconds, you basically skip the split part. And our group just wasn't able to skip much. So it was like we had to do it the normal way after failing 2 times. Which was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? But yeah, sometimes that just happens. I felt super off yesterday. Stacy's mom? What? No, yesterday I just felt super off, and, like, my damage was okay, but normally I'm, like, really good at doing mechanics, and yesterday I kind of just kept fucking them up. I died on the last boss in, like, the first 30 seconds, and then they just did it without me, and you're just like, I'm okay with this. I don't want to think on this boss after how tonight has been going. The problem is that I want to switch to Enhancement Shaman, which makes me really checked out of Mage. I think that's my issue. Oh, however, speaking of Blizzard, the hardcore servers came out yesterday. There are already 20-minute long compilations of people dying. Well, so the problem, sis, is that my mage is 437, and my enhancement shaman is 392. So I need to get it up a little bit before I get super hard carried. No, nobody has a problem with me playing Enhance. It's the issue of, like, I gotta show up not doing 30k DPS. I watched like 5 minutes of one compilation. I had completely forgotten in the Barrens, I do 85k as a mage, thank you. In the Barrens, there's a patrol of 3 level 24 elites. And they're night elves, just to fuck with Horde, I guess. And there was one video I saw of this guy running through these tall striders. Just running through them, not really trying to fight them. And these night elves are in a ditch, but his camera was so zoomed in, he couldn't see them until he was also in the ditch, 10 feet away from them. And the compilation like did a freeze at it, and it was like, it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up. And immediately they just run up to him and two-shot him. And it's just like, oh god, that's brutal. Oh god, that's so gnarly. I wouldn't... Unless it was like, let's dick around for a day on a hardcore server, I would never play hardcore classic. That's like just 2 things that I'm like, man, I do not want to fuck with those at all, in any way. But when I marry Lofam, I'm probably going to have to play classic WoW. I'm going to get a drink. I get classic WoW. You get interesting dinner, or I get interesting dinners. You get classic WoW. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm talking about, Lofam. People need to compromise for their partner, right? If you've heard the cake parts conversation. Neither of us would need cake parts, but do I even want interesting dinners? Not really, gonna be honest. I don't know if Lofam knows about how weird... No, Lofam surely knows how weird my taste is. Yeah, you've had the best arguments against them. Oh. Did you guys see the fan art Voss got? Spacefish drew it. On her 2nd art account, I think? I don't know, she has like 2 or 3 Twitter accounts. She's absolutely lovely, Lofam. I don't have a quick way to get to her art thing. Is it in Voss's Discord? I think it's in Voss's fan art channel. I think Spacefish posted it there. So if you're in that Discord, that's where to find it. Yeah, Spacefish is very, very lovely. That wasn't sus. What else was there? There was... There's so many just little things in the hardcore classic server that are just killing people. There was one group running a Shadowfang Keep, and apparently there's a curse that gets put on people that hits them for a chunk of damage every minute. But they accidentally pulled an extra group, so they jumped down to the portal and left. And their mage was at, like, lowish health. And it ticked after a minute and killed them outside of the dungeon. They were like, what? What happened? What? Wait, you had to bully Sis into being your friend? Sis bullied me into being his friend. I was very... not suspicious, but like... I can't think of a better word. A little suspicious of it at first. I was in Pause chat, and Sis was like, "Oh my God, it's Yulin. When are we hanging out?" And I was like, "What? I don't know. Do we just do that? Is that a thing that people just do?" And then we got in a VR chat world. Well, okay, obviously hanging out is a thing people do, but that you were the first person that was like, your second sentence to me was, "When are we hanging out in VR chat?" No, we got in VR chat, and then I talked for 5 hours, and my throat was like literally dry and scratchy after that. And I was like, wait, have I literally been talking the whole time? Oh God, I feel like super narcissistic and selfish. You were nervous talking to me, but you were the one that was like, set up the whole thing. I do remember that was at the start of the lewd phase. So I was like, yeah, we've talked a bunch. Is this the part where we fuck? And you're like, nah, I have a girlfriend. And I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, so when I was 22, then and while this happened, VR chat was a mistake. Renowned and famous, my ass. SMH, my head. Ah. I can't believe you've done this. What the? Oh. My treadmill is like, your pulse is this. And I was like, how is it recording my pulse? No, I didn't see that. Who's in it? Oh. Thank you, Lost One. 3% incline. 20 minutes in. Surely this won't go poorly. So, like, I'm expecting somewhat well-known VTubers to, like, be in this agency, Lofan, but I'm like, oh man. I think the only one I know is LumiTuber. And even her, I'm like, I think I know who that is? Is that the femboy? With the, like, bluish hair, I think? Whoa. That bush looked like a wolf to me for a second. Okay. Yeah, I get a lot of their clips recommended to me. I think I also saw them do a collab with Shizu. Ah. Zooey, when do you join me again? I'm getting rid of the rule. I like it when people join me. Zooey, you can come every day if you want. I'm sorry, take me back. So, I was talking to Zooey yesterday. I was like, hey, how are you? He's like, I'm good, I'm about to eat. And I was like, alright, cool. I just got done eating. I had, I think I had tortellini and Alfredo sauce yesterday. There was, sis. And Zooey goes, I'm having something and croquettes. And I was like, I don't know what a croquette is. So I looked it up. It wasn't just for you, Zooey. I was just not enforcing it at all. And you were the only one listening to it. And so I looked up what a croquette is and I was like, oh, these are like versatile. And you can put anything in them. These are great, I think. And then I suggested putting something in it to Zooey, and he was like, no. I have a great screenshot of it. Of me being like, oh, these look tasty. And he's like, yes. And I was like, you could put these in it. And he goes, no. No. What did I suggest? You just said what I suggested putting in them, didn't you? I can't scroll up to see it. Yeah, I don't know. I was concerned about, like... I was concerned about the stream just becoming me having a conversation with someone else on repeat, like 5 days in a row. Gummy worms, that's right, yeah. Croquettes with gummy worms. And, like, one, Zooey's, like, the last person to even, like, dictate a conversation. Because sometimes he just likes to, like, come and hang out and just be around people. Which I love. But... that also means joining Euland every day. Understandable, sis. I can see why that would become a problem. I wouldn't want to do that either. It fell apart, like, instantly. You wanna know why? It fell apart for Cookie. Because he has work 5 days of the week that overlaps my stream. And then he has 2 days where he can show up. And so he showed up one day. And then he showed up the next, and I was like, oh no, my rule. And then he looked at me with these fucking puppy eyes, and I was like, this rule is dumb. Fuck it. Shit, when was the last time we played Divinity? I want us to finish that. We have a friend. lot of good progress.
No, I'm an enemy.
Oh
I've
no.
come to defeat you.
Oh no. Yes, I have beat the Hagzubi.
Hello.
But I don't want to say too many things because there's still people that haven't played. Hi, hello.
Hello. Let me stand up. Maybe. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Aha, there we go.
I haven't been walking that long, but Lost One put the incline
True.
on. So I'm already like more tired than usual. I never thought
Good.
it would make that much of a difference, but it's like,
You ever gone upstairs? Excuse me?
yeah, I have.
Yes, inclines matter.
There's a difference between 14 steps and incline for 10 minutes, though.
Okay, well let me kind of like share. It's like, okay, so stairs generally cover short distances, probably what, like 10-15 feet at max, and yet they're incredibly more difficult than like 10-15, like walking like on like a flat plane, right?
Yes.
So even in doing a very small incline over longer distances will of course be significantly harder.
Yes. When it's such small numbers, like 3% incline, I was like, I don't even know if that'd be noticeable. And then 5 minutes in, I'm like, it's fucking noticeable. Oh god. Hi, Den.
Don't worry, Euland, I notice you.
There you
go.
You can't just say that. You can't just say that in front of me. I watched her yesterday react to the Atlantean fish rock.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know she was gone so long. Like, I don't know. Like, there's so much content of those like girls out. It's just like, I could never catch up if I wanted to.
I saw the list of like top 10 female streamers for the week, and they're all streaming like 50 to 70 hours a week, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Except for Gura.
What the?
No. I agree.
Well, I think this was on Twitch. So,
okay.
She would have been excluded from that, but it's
so
like,
who was it on Twitch then?
It was this girl I don't remember. Like, I hadn't seen her name before. Second was Iron Mouse. I think 9 was Onigiri. Giri was the one who reposted it, and she was like, holy shit, I never thought I'd be on this list.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is I've been thinking about doing more hours just in general, but, you know, oh boy. Okay, so who else?
I mean, so there was a few of the usuals up there, right? Like Emeru, Ginny, some,
I don't know who you are.
Some names that were in a different language, so I couldn't read it.
Okay. I suspect maybe like a Spanish one would actually be really popular.
Well, I don't remember if there was a Spanish one. I know there was 2 that were either Korean or Japanese, and I didn't want to say like 2 Japanese streamers because I didn't know between the 2. So, I need a drink.
Didn't you get a drink just recently?
Yes, but I constantly need a drink.
Oh, okay. Oh, excuse me.
I get thirsty when walking.
Okay.
I mean,
that's probably a good thing, right?
Yes. Typically I have like a kind of like scratchy throat because normally I drink 5 gallons of milk a week, which is a lot.
So that's a lot of milk. That's a lot of milk.
It's a perfect amount of milk. It takes less care of your throat than water.
Amount.
Water is much better for
No, 100% will. 100% will. The amount of lipids that you're ingesting is, of course, you're going to.
Well, I don't know. I've just always had like a dry, scratchy throat. Now that I'm drinking water, it's better. But I'm also talking way more and just walking, right? So
I mean, a couple hours?
Yeah.
Don't like how much do you talk normally? Like in a day?
Well, I'm just adding a 3-hour block every day where I typically talk most of the time.
Well, we'll get you up to that like 10 hours a day. You'll be fine.
Oh my
You'll
God.
just be talking out of your wazoo.
I actually have to keep them short for a little bit because my father is staining the basement stairs right outside my room. So.
Oh, okay. Just breathe in the fumes. Sniffer.
It's less about fumes and that he's sanding them first. And so, like, right at 12 yesterday, just this crazy loud power tool sound was happening. I was like, oh, glad I ended before this.
You know, actually, that reminds me of something, actually. So, the Friday I ran out of power, I literally finished, like, 10 minutes before the power cut out for multiple days. So it's like, oh, hey, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!
Mm-hmm.
And then, power cut out. It's like, oh, maybe I won't.
Divinity at 3 p.m. Pacific, so that's 5 for me?
Divinity? Don't you mean Baldur's Gate 3?
No.
Still playing Divinity? What? That's old school now at this point.
I have Baldur's with Lost One, and I have Divinity with Sis, Casey, and Den. Oh, okay, 3 p.m. CST. I can do that. The thing is, we started this Divinity run fucking months ago, and
not surprising.
The schedules have just fluctuated. So lately, Den, who's already a New Zealander, and that's, the difficulty of working with that, her job has been like, you only get 2 days off now. I started streaming, and so it's like, hey, I used to be available all the time, but also now I'm not. Ciseldin.
Okay, yeah, that does tend to happen.
Ciseldin
is Ciseldin? That's how you say it? I thought it was Ciseldin. Like system, like Ciseldin?
I've always just said Ciseldin. I never thought about it. Ciseldin?
Yeah, wait.
Okay, but which one's right?
We can't have this either shit works. All right, there's definitely a correct answer. What did you imagine in your mind? This is not going to be a Corvu situation where I called her Corvo for 5 years and then found out later that was incorrect. No. Okay, hey, if you let us, I will literally change your name. Like, I'll change the spelling. I'll like log into your Twitch. Be like, all right, they said I could take over. It's up to me.
Sis has had to interrupt the schedule a few times because he's the World League Battle Discs champion, and he doesn't miss tournaments. So we've had to play around that.
Wouldn't it be Sicydin?
I don't know about that one.
Or a Siseldin? Ooh.
The fourth person, Casey, he's the one that's like able to always be there, but unfortunately he's the one that talks the most shit about people when they're not there. So it's like, why did it have to be this guy? And then all four of us just can pass out at any minute and take a nap. So that's why this Divinity run is taking so long. It's actually progressing though. We're in Act 4. We're toward the end.
Okay.
It's made a lot more progress than other runs. I've never beat it,
so you mean?
I really want Floss to play it because he's had so much fun with Baldur's that it's like there's no way he doesn't also enjoy Divinity.
I mean, it literally just feels like a D&D version of, Divinity.
Yeah. There's a lot more storylines fleshed out. And I'd say the build diversity is a bit crazier. In Divinity, you can do some wild stuff. But in the base game, it's very limited. Now for build diversity, a lot of people go to mods. What's just base game in Baldur's feels fucking insane.
Well, I mean, Well, okay, so I'll say this. I'm sure it's not the same company, but like it's very obviously very inspired by Divinity, as like Divinity was very successful, which is very surprising considering like it kind of
Same company.
that type of game. Oh, is it the same company? Okay, well it's even more so. Like they had Divinity 2 was a test run. like they had all the experience, right? They knew exactly what they're doing. Even if it wasn't the same company, this only reinforces that it is. They still had everything. They could just look at the game like, oh, okay, this is what they did wrong. This is what they did right. Let's build on that. Let's kind of improve these things. Like this is like a no-brainer, right? They just,
very much so. Yeah.
Of course, it's gonna be better.
Yeah. But like, okay, so Divinity 2 is really, really good. Anybody that's like played it and finished it will be like.
I want to mention that D&D also like just like lets you field. They have all the builds already. It's like, well, I mean, this is like, so they already have all the structure. So it's like, oh, we know the rogue should be able to do these type of things, and these are the subclasses that exist.
Oh my
with
god!
These type of abilities, they don't even have to try. It just
exists. The people that know D&D are just like, I'm gonna do this build and combo with this, and I'm just like, what the?
Yeah, it's not probably work.
I put a second level in Ranger. I get a bigger pet now. Woo!
I mean, a little bit, but yeah.
Well,
actually, you only get a pet if you do the Beastmaster version of the
yes,
the Ranger.
Yes, and they have the different subspecs.
And even, well, yeah, I'm sure. But by the way, that's like okay. So, in the original iteration of the 5th edition D&D, which is what I'm guessing they're using, I don't think they're using the experimental one that they're working on now. In the original version, that Beastmaster Ranger was by far the best. Because depending on the race you chose, you could actually have your companion as a mount, and that made it way better. So if you were like a smaller race, like a halfling or goblin or whatever it was going to be, right? Your companion as a mount, like it was like a dire mount basically, because you had so many more extra abilities that made it stronger, and then you had the mount stuff on top of it. You could use lance, which was actually a very powerful weapon just in general, right? And then being able to control your animal so much better than a normal mount, it was actually pretty good. Like it was the only really like super viable specs when you compared it to other like late game, like okay, well how does the Ranger like stack up? And they didn't. They went through multiple iterations. And eventually they did add on and change Ranger and whatnot. Now, Beastmaster, unfortunately, it's now actually rather weak compared to the other versions, because they didn't change it. They didn't have to, right? So
right,
it's not bad, right? But I would choose the other one like Gloomstalker or something of the nature. But yes, anyway, continue.
So for me, I started as a barbarian, and that was fun.
Barbarians are boring.
I wanted to try something else. I tried Druid with the Druid of the Moon, I think it was, and like based around wild shapes.
That's very powerful.
It felt fun. The problem is, I would get knocked out of wild shape form anytime I wanted to talk to somebody, and you've got limited wild shapes for every long rest, right? So it was just like, well, because Lost One has played further than me, we're kind of treating me like I'm the protagonist and the one talking to everybody. So it feels like I'm just gutting myself by going through wild shapes just for conversations. And so
I would agree.
I tried Ranger after that, and I went Beastmaster, and I'm kind of doing like a tanky, somewhat support Ranger that has like heavy armor and a shield, because I didn't want to do the damage. I wanted my pet to do the damage. I don't think the pet does that much damage. I think it's very much a. I think it's very much a like.
you were going the wrong route on that particular one.
Yeah. Now they do have a respec option, right? So it's easy enough to re-roll stuff, but
yeah.
I would probably try something else with this character.
I mean, it gets so bad to a point because the combat rating you get from your companion is so terrible at a certain point. Like the options you have to, or like it doesn't scale super well. A lot of times you're going to run into where your companion is just doing the aid thing to you, so you get advantage on whatever you're doing that round, right? Since most of the time most DMs will say that they act on the same turn you are just for simplicity's sake. So you're like, okay, my companion aids me, then I have, advantage to whatever I'm doing. So
Right.
that's usually kind of how it ends up. So a lot of people run into, I think it's very common to do say like Wolf, because Wolves also have some interesting actions early on where they can kind of like trip people and stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will probably make this character a fighter next. What's funny is, you get 4 characters in your party, and so I'm controlling my character, and I'm controlling one of the origin characters that we've spec'd to Warlock, and then Lost One is controlling his paladin character, and one of the origin characters that we spec'd to Cleric. And the Warlock, I like what the Warlock does. All I do is just shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts every turn that do a bunch of damage, and sometimes accidentally knock people off shit.
So Warlock is the fighter of mages.
Yes.
It's literally how they were designed. They were designed around having... initially it was, the bolt you're talking about, where it's like, oh, they have multiple attacks. It's pretty strong. It's like a 1d10, which is like right on schedule with like whatever a fighter would be using, which is most likely going to be 1d10.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's either like a 1d8 or I guess it depends. Like later on, it's definitely going to be a 1d10. They're just going to use a good 1d10 weapon and just call it that. So like they're like almost perfectly lined up balance wise to just deal lots of auto attack damage. Same thing with fighter. Now, I actually think fighters are more interesting than warlocks.
So
because all warlocks get kind of pigeonholed into the same kind of situation because of their base mechanic of getting all their stuff back on a short rest, and so every single subclass is balanced around short rests basically. Whereas with fighter, on the other hand, the original subclasses that came out with were rather boring, except for the magic one, in my opinion. And I guess technically like battle master, but then they kind of expand on battle master. But fighter, at least like their subclasses do actually fundamentally change the gameplay, whereas I feel like warlocks don't, which is why I feel like warlocks are some of the most boring.
Well, so I don't know the differences between like the different warlock specs. I do know that the one I chose, they have the cantrip Eldritch Blast, and the one I chose lets
Eldritch
you do
Blast
that.
is a very common one.
It lets you do it twice when you use it, so it almost feels like you've got your spell slots, and they're great when you use them, but you're much less reliant on them than the other casters, I think is how this Warlock subspec is supposed to play. Which I hate the spell slots. I think they're good design. I just personally don't like limited uses of stuff. So the less limited uses of something I have, the more fun it is to me. So being able to just like shoot an Eldritch Blast every turn is like, this is what I like. This is what I don't want to deal with spell slots.
Okay, interesting. I mean, if you just want to do a lot of damage every single turn, you could just done fighter or. I mean, honestly, I think fighter would be better than rogue. I think rogue's pretty boring too.
Well, I'm probably gonna be fighter on the main character. The warlock is just my second character. That's just the one that's like, we need 4 party members, so I'm controlling that origin character. The origin character themselves is perfect. I don't think you have gotten Baldur's Gate. I don't even know if you're going to get it. But the
I don't plan to. It's just like, I mean, I can go into it if you want to, but yeah, continue your point.
This origin character, there's 6, and this one is just, she joins the party as a barbarian, and she's just so perfect. I want to like, I don't even want to tell you her name though, just in case you do ever play it. I'm not gonna say more about her, other than she's perfect. The other 2 girls in the game, one of them's just like turbo bitch, and the other's like, I don't really want anything to do with you. We're working together because we have a common goal. But stay over there.
Okay, very respectable.
The that second one I mentioned, the we're only working together. I don't think she's that great of a waifu, but a lot of people like her because they introduce her in the first 5 minutes. But they introduce Turbo Bitch in the first 5 minutes also. So it's like, when you have one that's very clearly a dick to you and just mean and awful, it just makes the other one look better, right? So it's like,
In comparison.
Do you like
It's like
Shadowheart?
that's going around with your fat friend, so it makes you look better.
Oh my god, low fam. It in my eyes, it's like,
I don't
do you
actually
like
really
Shadowheart?
believe that, but that's what people say.
Or do you just dislike Lizelle so much that Shadowheart looks better?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's very strong reasons why I didn't pick up Baldur's Gate 3, and I probably never will pick up Baldur's Gate 3. At least like none, like you guys will know, right?
Right.
If I do anything, it will be private. And the reason is that I've learned the very hard way that new games are. Okay. I back up. I'm like putting the horse before the cart. Okay, let me explain something.
Mm-hmm.
That game I know is a bit like Divinity 2. I've seen some stuff, like I've seen it before, like a very small degree, so I kind of know what kind of game it is. I know it's a very, very long RPG, right?
Yes.
The only way for me to realistically play this very, very long RPG without taking up all my free time is I have to do it on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just kind of how it goes. It's too big of a game for me not to do it. You can have multiple people, it can be co-op, right? All this stuff. So it just is kind of built in, like, oh, okay, well, if I do this, then it has to be on stream, right? It has to be on a stream. Whether it's mine or somebody else's, probably going to be there.
Right.
And if I'm going to do that, I've learned the very rough way that I do not do well with what you would call new games that are hot. People do not want. Basically, people don't come to my to watch me to play a new game. What happens is that either one, they already have somebody else, like, because I'm like sixth rung streamer, right? So I'm like, you've heard of like the third wheel, man. I'm like the sixth wheel, right? Like, I'm all the way in the back. I'm like, I'm on like a semi truck. I'm like all the way in the back. I'm like, if the first 6 tire spot, maybe I'll come in and like save the day or something of that nature. Like, that's kind of the situation, right? And so they already have other streamers that they're gonna watch, or 2, they're gonna be playing the game and don't want to be spoiled. So they just don't. If they see it up there, then they just don't do it. So I have found that the only time that going into a game that's brand new that'll be good for you, or good for, at least specifically for me, is if that it's like completely unknown. I like somehow discovered the game before anybody else, and I'm the top of the category, and it's the only time that'll be useful.
I disagree that you're a sixth streamer, by the way. I don't like it when you say that.
Well, I mean, hey, the truth's sometimes difficult to accept.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's such a long
But everything
game.
else is definitely 100% true.
It's such a long game that, like, to commit to it on stream is either you need to play it every day for 3 to 4 weeks to finish it, or it's going to become like a year-long commitment. And so,
and the thing is, if you do the year-long commitment, you're never going to finish, because the other things are going to come up. Like, you're not going to be able to keep that commitment for that long. So just rush through the game. Everyone's going to be doing it at the same time. People understand why you're doing it. Never going to finish.
So
never going to give you up. Never going to let you down.
Oh god, eternal edging. I have finished Divinity twice with like year-long playthroughs. Well, that's if I'm counting the one with Sis, Casey, and Den.
Oh, I'm talking about like streaming. Because like there's new games that are gonna come up, and you're gonna want to do that.
Oh god, you are literally just making me think of Core's schedule right now. we plan so many games. And then, like, stuff comes out, a Destiny patch comes out, PSO patch comes out, a Genshin patch comes out, and it's just like, it just keeps getting pushed back and back and back.
It'll never happen.
It will.
And the thing is, like, I mean, sure, maybe.
It'll happen someday. I believe.
Someday, sometime. I swear it'll happen. Ooh. So that's why I kind of avoid that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think the only RPG that I can see myself playing in the very near future, especially on stream, is two. Sorry, there's two of them. I almost forgot about one. Super Mario RPG, and then and a new Creature Collector. And even I know it's gonna be terrible for my stream. I'm still gonna play it because I love that stupid kind of game.
Yeah. What is? Do you know the name of that Creature Collector? Or?
Yeah, I've actually told it to you. It's Dragon Warrior Monsters Dark Prince.
Okay.
And you're like, what is that? What kind of game is that?
I see.
I remember exactly your reaction. I'm like,
okay, you typoed it the first time, and I was like,
I did. Yeah, true. I did typo it because I did. Okay, so before it was Dragon Warrior, it was another franchise. I can't remember what it was called. It had a different name, and they got into some legal troubles with a pretty popular franchise at the time, and they were basically forced to change their name. But they didn't change the name of games that already existed. Like you can't take back the past, right? So
yeah,
those games still exist under those names, and so I played them under that name, so I remember like that. Yeah,
dude. Sometimes just naming shit gets so confusing. A game I really liked in college was Sengoku Basara. And
never heard that before.
Did you ever play Dynasty Warriors or what's the other one?
I did. Lots of Dynasty
Samurai Warriors. Sengoku Basara is basically
yeah.
the characters from Samurai Warriors, but they just went way more fucking anime. So, if you remember the character Tadakatsu Honda, in Sengoku Basara, he's a robot. Just that level of anime and what the fuck.
So I did Dynasty Warriors. I never did Samurai Warriors. And the reason I never did Samurai Warriors is like I never really felt the need to, because it's literally the same game just with different aesthetics basically.
It's so
all of the Warriors, like the Dynasty Warriors S games have the same gameplay. Even the most recent what was it? Legend of Zelda version they had. They
are extremely similar.
Hyrule Warriors.
They do get a little
incredibly similar.
They do get a little different at the end game. So like with Samurai Warrior in Dynasty Warriors, it's all about by the end of the match, you're gonna kill like 1,000 people. You are built for AoE.
Well, yeah.
It is more about keeping up your combo and like keeping yourself safe with your attacks. Samurai Warriors, none of the characters have.
It also
AoE.
does depend on your difficulty, because if like I think like when I was doing it, because I did a lot of Dynasty Warriors, like 3 is kind of where I came into series. Then I went through like 6 because that was whichever one was the last one on PlayStation 3, which is basically the last console I really put time into. But whatever Dynasty Warriors was the last one on that, it was like, all right, I'm done with the series at this point.
Samurai Warriors, your characters didn't have AoE at all though, so it was more about like getting really strong, fast combos off on the target you needed to kill, and then being able to block or dodge away from all the attacks coming at you. So they have little differences like that. So if you played like 6 different versions of these, I think they're called Musou games, you will have a favorite. Games. You'll be like, I like the gameplay of this one the most. But like on easy mode, they're literally identical. Sengoku Basara. Okay. Divinity. We got 2 hours to play it, sis? Okay. Okay. What are we gonna do in that 2 hours? We could go fight the trolls in the Thieves Guild. That's a thing we could try to do. We've already cleared out some of the sewers, right? But fucking, I don't know, beat the game. I don't think we're gonna beat it in 2 hours, sis. Something just tells me that's not gonna happen. Playing more after discs? I'm not underestimating our power. I just don't think we can do 80% of Act 4 in 2 hours. We have all of Krem's estate. We have the entire chapel. We have the doctor. We have the toy maker. We have the trolls in the sewer. And then we have the whole entire end. We are going to finish Baldur's Gate. I just really need to get to a point where I don't have to do stream stuff every day. We have the Lizard Dream. Oh god, we have the Kraken. We just looked at that and walked away. We have the demon that curb stomped us. How the fuck did we beat the plant before the demon? Shit. Alright, we're only 10% done through Act 4. Forget what I said about 80%. We're gonna finish Baldur's... Here's the thing, Lost One. Right now, I finished stream and I'm still doing like, alright, I need to work on this, I need to work on that, I need to work on this. I actually worked on... I looked at the extension with Shirkan and Ramus before stream. Like, I woke up, I got on PSO, and they were like, you want to look at the extension? I was like, yes, please and thank you. And then we briefly looked at things. And then I got off. I left the call to start getting ready for stream. Once I'm at the point where, like, I stream, then I record a video for like 2 or 3 hours, I will have so much more time for shit. But, like, there's still a ton of stuff I have to do for stream. I need the extension. I got the Antlion mod mic USB. So, I want to set that up. I need to look at step counter again. I started that and was like, oh my god, this is confusing. I need to switch everything to OBS. Because Streamlabs can suck a fat one. Streamlabs notification for the day. Translate subtitles with ease with Podcast Editor. Sure. That's actually a really cool feature. What else do I need for stream? There's something else I'm forgetting. I've got it written down. This fucking guy just rudely kicks me. I didn't even do shit to him. Buh. Asshole. What are we at? 2 miles? Oh, yeah. I need the scene transitions so that when I start, it's not just me bent over my desk. Wow, that's a phrase, now that I think about it. I need a start screen. I need a raid scene, because right now when we raid somebody, I'm just like, let's find something cool to put the camera on in the world. I don't think I need a transition. I feel like I'm fast enough at that. What else? I need to...
I'm an L. Hoo-hoo.
Welcome back. I need something for this text on the side of the screen. I need a backdrop for it. Because right now there's no backdrop. And depending on what's behind it, it's unreadable.
What do you mean?
So when people type in chat, text appears on the stream, right?
Oh, yeah.
That needs a backdrop.
I mean, that's pretty easy, actually.
Oh, I don't doubt that it's easy. I'm just an idiot and struggle with doing simple things.
I'm just a simple man. Looking down the barrel of 45.
No, don't. Oh god, that's like an upbeat song.
That's a song.
Like, what the fuck? That lyric.
Well, yeah. Let's see here.
I have sis. The thing is, a lot of these YouTube videos immediately go into like, what you want to do is subscribe to this extension or subscribe to this service, and it's like, okay, don't care about this one. And it feels like I have to weed through YouTube tutorials to get to the free version. As for asking somebody, there have been like 20 people that have offered their help that have literally done this before, and they're like, oh, I if you have any questions, ask me. And my dumb ass is like, I can't ask for help. I can't ask for help until I've tried to do it and exhausted all options. I'm damaged goods from cubicle life. And if you ask somebody without trying to, like, do everything possible first, they're going to be like, why did you ask me without at least looking at it yourself? I have shit to do, dude. And so...
Oh, mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only son, doing, doing, and listening closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day, day. Oh, yeah. Oh, take your time. That's all the lyrics I'm gonna say. But just remember, I did this one day.
That's all the lyrics I'm gonna say. He immediately does another line.
Well, I gotta finish off the stanza, right? You got a pattern to keep up. You can't just end on an odd like sentence.
You could. I just think you didn't want to. You could absolutely have said everybody.
I looked for propriety's sake.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting a drink.
I don't know. Honestly, it's like the thing you're talking about for like chat. If you really just want something functional, it literally takes like 10 minutes at max.
Well, I have something functional. I just don't have the backdrop yet.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got chat on screen.
No. I'm talking about the thing with the backdrop, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually quite easy.
No,
So my first question is, do you know the measurement of how big your chat is?
No.
Well, you should start with that, because you will know how big your backdrop needs to be then.
Okay.
Yes. See, look, there we go.
No, I started with Streamlabs, right? And
Okay.
after a month, Streamlabs is like, hey, you've been using the free trial version for a month. We're going to reset you every morning to encourage you to buy the $10 a month version. And it's like...
Wait.
Fuck you.
Wait, they what?
So, there is the free version and there is the subscription version. The subscription version...
Yeah, well, the subscription version should have have overlays and things of stuff of that nature, right?
Doesn't have anything I want or use. Like, I just don't need it, so I've been using the free version. However, every morning when I open up Streamlabs for the past 3 or 4 days, it's been like, hey, welcome to Streamlabs. You're a new account. Are you going to be focusing on streaming or recording? And it's like, I'm not a new account, but since I only have 2 buttons, I guess I'm focusing on streaming. And they're like, great. Do you want to use the free version or the premium version that's $10 a month? And it's like, I want to continue to use the free version. And then it goes, great. Do you want to start fresh or do you want to import your stuff from OBS Manager? And I click start fresh. And then all my stuff is there. But it's like, that's what it goes through every morning. Oh, I need to authorize through Twitch every morning also. And so it's just like, the first day I saw that, I was fucking panicking. because I thought I just, lost all my alerts, lost all the sources I had set up. They're there, but it just makes me... They're doing that every morning now.
It's just a big song and dance.
Just a big song and dance. Honestly, I never would have gone with
Stream Elements and never had that issue, by the way.
So, I knew there was Streamlabs and OBS Streamlabs and OBS. And so, I knew one of them had the whole controversy where they were just like fucking people. And so I was like, that's the one I don't want. And that's the one I fucking picked.
That's Streamlabs.
I realize that now. Well, so I thought it was OBS Streamlabs. So I thought there was Streamlabs and OBS Streamlabs. I didn't realize that they had renamed from OBS Streamlabs to Streamlabs.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. So
Streamlabs. Okay, so the reason, so technically the programming you're using is probably still designated as OBS Streamlabs, is because technically Streamlabs has a number of products/services. So it's not just their integration with OBS that the company actually does. So that's probably why when you go and search for it, and like let's say I'm trying to like work with my alerts, you're trying to do your chat stuff, you're probably going to a place called Streamlabs, not OBS Streamlabs. Like just like I'm going to a place called Stream Elements, not OBS Stream Elements. Those designations are specifically to make sure you understand what version of OBS you're using. Yes. Now to be fair, I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. Every single company is going to be like ripping each other off because the amount of competition between all of them is actually very, very high. However, it does seem that Streamlabs is a bit more on the nose with what they do and what the features and like they need to put a little bit more effort in putting like a spin on their own version of whatever they want to do, right? Give me a break. So,
hi, Johan.
That's all I would say.
Yeah, it was the like their advertisement page where they were just like faking stuff and
oh yeah. They're like straight up copying marketing and things of that nature for features. Copying features it was pretty blatant. They probably shouldn't have done that. They may actually have gotten to lawsuits. I'm not sure what it ended up, but at the time, like the only person I was really consulting with like streaming stuff was my best friend Nevi, and we were both like, all right, we're moving over to Stream Elements because we just don't want to like support a company who does that.
Yeah. Kick that dog. No.
What dog though?
I think it was a dog in WoW. We can't kick that. Well, was there a dog in WoW? It would have been like a gargoyle thing. We can't kick the dog. We're trying to sneak by. If we kick the dog, it's going to yelp and everybody's going to look this way. That's not a dog. That's a harpy. In their chibi form.
Bark, bark.
And we would never kick them. Well, maybe if we were, like, trying to get angry makeup sex.
By the way.
And, like...
I also don't like makeup sex, by the way. Like, I don't like angry sex.
Well, okay, so if we were trying... The only way we kick you is if that led to angry makeup sex, but if you don't like it, then, that's just not a good strategy.
Okay, riddle me this, Batman.
Uh-huh.
I'm Batman. I just don't understand angry sex. You're literally upset and angry, and it's like, all right, you know what's gonna fix this? Intimate skinship. No, I fucking hate your guts right now. Get away from me. I don't want to fucking talk to see you.
Well,
what are you talking about? Fucking angry sex? What is this bullshit?
So you have a strong will.
No.
And if you're angry,
sex is perfectly fine.
No. If you're angry at someone, you want to get away from them, right? But there are people who they get angry at someone, but then they get horny, and it's like, I really don't want to fuck them right now because I'm so mad, but I really am just horny, and the person knows that, and so it's like, I have made you angry, but are you going to stay away or are you going to come and get it? So the angry makeup sex is when they give in to the horny, but they kind of like take it out on the person during. And so
I don't know, that just feels like manipulation to me.
yes, it is.
And it seems very unhealthy.
Yes, yes, it is. It is very much a kink. For some people, so like obviously, it's a kink for the person initiating the makeup sex, right? That's angering the other person.
I think it does depend also on intent, right? Like if it just like accidentally happens, then they should, okay, whatever. But if people are specifically like, I know what I'm doing and I'm going to get a result that I'm aiming for, then that's really fucked up.
But okay, here's the thing. What if that other person is into it? What if they are also like, in the moment, I don't like being angry, but then once we get to the sex part, I love being angry during that.
What I would say is that is literally a recipe for disaster because you're incentivizing having arguments in a relationship. So you guys basically have doomed the relationship. Because no amount of sex is going to fix those arguments. That shit's going to build up real quick.
What if it's not meant to be a lasting relationship?
As much as you...
What if it's meant to just be like a friends with benefits thing?
Okay, well then sure, then whatever. The thing is, okay, if you're so cool of a bro, a dude, or whoever you are, right? That you have you basically have side pieces, aka friends with benefits. Then just drop ones that make it difficult. Just fuck them, man. Just move on. You don't need that shit in your life.
Oh my god,
I'm just saying, like, if you're so successful that you can have multiple partners, and you're doing this, you're like, dude, you don't need the headache.
So
right? You're probably already working hard enough as it is. Just fuck them, move on.
Back in my lewd days, there were a lot of people that were just like, I'm talking to you with the express intent of getting lucky, to getting to the lewd stuff. And there was like one or two of them who like, they'd come on flirting. And I fucking love flirting on Discord. I flirt a lot in Twitch chat. I flirt even more in Discord. And so there was one or two people that like
chat-wise or like talking?
Chat-wise. And so one or two people, they just flirt a ton, right? But it's clearly like they're leading to something. And I can kind of tell like, this isn't just for fun. This isn't just like us having a conversation that's very flirty. They are clearly working towards something. And every now and then they'll do something that like
it was a fucking ambush.
Breaks away from that, right?
Okay.
They'll do something that's like, I don't want to say passive aggressive, but it just rubs me the wrong way. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna like not respond to that. Because I felt like they were doing something kind of shitty there in that moment. And then they'll get like, they'll get passive aggressive. They'll be like, oh, I guess you got busy. Or, oh, I guess someone better than me is talking to you now. And it's like, if anybody ever pulls that with me, it's like, you
should just say, yeah, so yes. Chad, yes. Fuck off.
I should.
Even if it's not true, just yes.
Typically, I just ignore that also. I look at it and I go, oh, okay, now you definitely don't get anything out of me. Well, here's the thing.
I agree.
Some of these people, I don't dislike them, right? Like, when we're not flirting like that, they can be chill. Or, even worse, they're in the community a bit. And so I don't want to, like, really burn them and make an enemy out of them. Because I don't want to, like... Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Zach.
Hello, Zach. God, I want to say the whole name, but I'm like, I don't know how to say that.
Saxholm?
Saxholm? The L is throwing me off. Normally I can look at words and be like, I have a pretty good idea on how to say it.
Like Deep Holm, right? You have Deep Holm.
Yeah.
Just Saxon.
Saxon?
Yeah, there you go.
And so, where was I? Oh yeah, so like if there's someone that like,
I mean, they can put their sack on me. Oh god,
if there's somebody that's like well connected, I don't want to just be like, don't give me that shit, loser. Yeah, I'm talking to someone better, right? I don't want to treat people like that when it potentially bleeds into other friendships, and it's annoying. No, you have to split me in half. I don't do any splitting. What? It's annoying, but like,
I have an argument for this.
Everything is just so interconnected.
Continue. But okay, I have a counter argument, right? So you have a limited time on this earth, all right? You ultimately get to decide how you actually go through it. And I'm personally of the mind that the journey is a lot more important than, say, the destination. It's how you do things and who you do things with that actually matter significantly more than, say, what you're actually doing at the end of the day. To some degree, obviously, we're not like, I'm not condoning any like criminal activity or anything of that nature.
Of course.
But in this particular regard, of course, right, I'm legally obligated to say so. Anyway, as I was saying though, in this particular regard, if that friend is, maybe if it's like a one-off thing, but if it's like a very consistent thing where you see a pattern of this person being either like very shallow or just like rubbing you the wrong way, and if you believe that if you were to bring this up or you bring the situation, talk to with your other friends in the group, like, hey, I'm seeing this thing, and if they're just like, man, what the fuck, what's wrong with you, why are you complaining, blah 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 blah, do you really want to spend your time like with those people? Is that like, because then you have to really be honest with yourself, like, okay, if I'm in this group and they have this I would say attitude amongst them, then what am I doing here? It's like, maybe I'm here also for just, blue things. Like, so I'm just saying, like, maybe you have to, like, I don't know, do a little introspection exactly what that situation is. And I specifically for you, Yulan, I don't think it would be a lack of friends in this particular regard, even if you did lose some for this specific reason. That's what I'm saying.
I pretty much 100% agree.
Unless it's me, of course. You can't say that shit to me, otherwise, you're dead to me, and I'm going to make sure I ruin you completely.
I was afraid of you for this exact reason for a bit, right?
What?
I need to tell something to Sis.
That was a joke.
Sis, I didn't even know you needed to pick up the engineer balloon traps. So, no, I did not know Monkey Farmer students. Okay. When Elite stopped streaming, you filled that void.
They stopped streaming?
No, he's since come back. But in 2019, when he stopped streaming, you filled that void. You were like always live when he was live, and I had become dependent on watching a stream at work. And so, if I didn't have a stream on to watch when I was at work, it was literally like time was stopped around me, and I could hear my thoughts and hear the clock going like click, click, and it felt like every 5 seconds I was like, oh my god, I literally need to hear a stream going on. So you were live, and I would watch you in that time. You were playing Minecraft. I very specifically remember you building like a world tree and being like, I'm going to make a house in this tree, or maybe the house next to the tree. But you spent like 3 days on this tree making it look fucking beautiful. After that, you played
Classic. I do like my trees.
After that, you played Classic WoW. And I, being a fucking know-it-all prick that I am, was like, I played Classic
this incident
WoW.
very well, actually.
You can't do that. And you were like, I'm gonna rate his enhancement. And I'm like, actually, no you won't, because enhancement sucks. And you were like, stop being fucking annoying. And then there was a day where, you added like an everyone in your Discord with a special role. And I think I complained about that. And then you were talking about rating with Lele, and I think I tried just relaying her words, like, it's the non-meta specs that are going to get cut first. And I think it came off as, like, me just being shitty and complaining about WoW stuff to you again. You did a Razorfen crawl, and you didn't say a word in it. And after you were like, I'm done streaming. This sucks. And I was sitting there going, oh, this is 100% my fault. Oh, God.
Actually, in fact, I actually stopped streaming for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I went and got a job, and I basically just like dropped streaming altogether.
But I remember I talked to you after that. And you said it sucks putting so much effort into this, and somebody just comes in and shits on it. Whether it's like you now
yes,
or
I remember
people
this very well.
are going to come in later and do it, that shit sucks. From that conversation, I was like, okay, I have clearly been shitty to LoFam, and I don't want to be like that. I'm just gonna avoid him for a bit. Here's the thing, though. At the time, you, GD, and Hunt were kind of like the three amigos. It seemed like you three were always together. And so...
yeah. I mean, I wish we still were, but I know, like, GD's, like, super busy, and there's, like, Hunt is actually... I think a lot of people... I think Hunt got, like, a new job, and their hours changed, and it was always difficult as an Australian, so...
So, I had been getting close to, like, all three of you at that time, but because I felt like I had really spurned you, I kind of distanced myself a little from GD and Hunt.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything.
Well, I didn't want you to be upset seeing me around and then seeing me around those two all the time. I felt like if you were mad at me and then you went to go hang out with GD one day and I was there, it would be better if I wasn't there for you.
I don't particularly work that way. If that was the case, then there would be many other people there would be many groups you would not see me hanging out with.
I'm happy to hear you're not that way, but I was like, I didn't know at the time, right? And so I kind of
I will spurn you from all your social groups, and I will leave you stranded amongst your thoughts until it is too late.
I then started hanging out with Core a lot, and she made me play Destiny and go through the story with her. And when we were doing that...
Hey, I did a similar thing. No, I didn't do the story with her. I just played the game. And I played with Rofo, and I actually became friends with Rofo. And that seems to be a bit more stable than whatever Core does. Because Core goes on flights of fancy sometimes.
Yes.
Pun totally intended.
I remember I was on Mars with her, and you came in chat, and you were like, ew, is that Euland? And Core was like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, haha, I used to watch LoFam all the time when he was going live. He's just teasing. Internally, I'm thinking, oh God, is LoFam gonna like tell people this guy sucks, don't hang out with him? And I was legitimately like, am I gonna lose a lot of my friends because LoFam hates me? Oh fuck! And nothing ever happened from it because you're not that kind of person.
I know, because I'm not like that. I don't fucking do
But
that.
I didn't know. And so, like...
I'm not some, like, mean girls person.
Thankfully, I'm very grateful for that. Because those people suck. But, like, I was just scared of that at the time.
Yes, they do.
I felt like you were so well connected in this community, and a lot of these people that I was making friends with at the time, that if you were that type of person, all these people that I was spending so much time with suddenly would just be like, ew, get out. LoFam said you're bad news.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you're not bad news. But I'm not. No. It's a little bit more complicated than that as well. At the same time, I mean, I can go into the entire situation. You were more like the unfortunate straw that broke the camel's back at that particular moment. Not specifically like if you had done it at a different time or you were to do that now. I would react differently. These days, I would just ban people. I'm like, all right, bye. But because I have a lot more confidence in like choosing who I want to be around with. But at the time, I was going through a very rough situation where I was putting a lot of effort into that at the time, or at least I felt like I was, even though I don't think I was actually putting a lot of effort into. I just felt like I was, and then I was doing really bad in streaming in general. I don't know what the situation was. I was also going through this. I mean, this is like a entire longer story, but it was basically I had unknowingly, I think that's the word. Unknowingly got myself into a very bad friendship that was really fucking with me. And the thing is, I didn't actually get out of that friendship. Well, it's not like I'm technically out of it, but I'm like, I've definitely pulled myself away, and I realized 2020 that it was fucking terrible, and it was like totally ruined my. Okay, so okay, I'll give you this scenario. Just imagine you were like constantly putting like this effort into wanting to be a friend, and at that time, I have a particular view of what friendship is, and for me, that's putting an effort. So it's like talking with a person, wanting to do stuff with them, trying to be part of their lives, like trying to like literally like, because that's what I think a friend is like where you're part of their life and they're a part of yours. You're there for their victories, you're there for their losses. You guys share back and forth, right? So you got, yeah, I know it almost sounds like you're a couple, but like you make memories. Like you have parts of your life that you can be like, oh, I remember when I was a friend with this person and my life was different because they were there. Like that's the kind of like level of what I think a friend is. And so I was trying to put that effort in, and I was very one-sided. And I'm like, what's going wrong? They say we're friends, they want to be friends. I'm putting all this effort into, but I'm not getting anything back. And it was just like this constant, like me tearing myself up, thinking that I wasn't doing enough, or I wasn't good enough to do friends, and that was just like destroying me. And that went on for like a couple of years.
Yeah, so. The idea of what a friend is. Oh, I forgot to answer Johan's question. This is LowFam. They stream.
Oh, hell. Well, I mean, who doesn't stream these days in some way?
Not wrong. I have a very different idea of what a friend is than you. To me, what you're describing is like, I guess what I would call a close friend. There are people who, for them, friendship is like, I am giving a bit of myself to you, right? Like I am going through effort to show you that I care.
Okay.
And of course, you would want that back if you're doing that for someone else.
Yeah, it's reciprocal, right? Definitely, for sure. Not always at the same time, but yes, just in general.
For me, a friend is a much lower bar to cover. For me, it's just like I enjoy spending time with them. And so there's a lot of people who are like me in that they could not talk to somebody for 3 years without even any reason, right? Like just neither of them just stopped reaching out. And after 3 years, one of them can be like, hey, how are you doing? And it picks right back up. I don't have this thought of like, why did you stop, right? Because I was investing so much effort into being friends with you. Where did that go? So like, for me, I'd probably be a terrible friend for you, because for me, I'm very like, I'm always open to whatever you have. And like, if somebody just doesn't respond, doesn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
This is why we're going to get married instead of being friends. It's a totally different relationship.
True. For me, if somebody didn't talk to me for 2 weeks, I wouldn't even think anything of it. I'd get to like day 3 or 4 and be like, something's missing. Oh, this person hasn't talked to me since then. And I might reach out to them. I might not. If it was somebody like Core, for me, somebody who I don't even know the last time I didn't have talked to them. If like 3 days went by, I'd be like, yo, what's up? Because to me, she's close friend. But I have, for me, what I call friend is just like, they're just there and I enjoy them. And anytime they want to come to me,
I have a question for you.
I'm open for them. Yes.
So what is, in this particular regard, what is the difference between what you consider a friend, like, like what you were just describing, and an acquaintance?
An acquaintance is somebody that, like, I would talk to them in a streamer's chat, and outside of that, it's like, we'll probably never say hi to each other. Yep, have a good day. See you tomorrow stream. Like, I can't see myself...
Yeah, but that's like a stranger, basically, right? Like, that's the level of politeness you give to a stranger.
No, a stranger is even lower
is like that. Somebody that you've run into multiple times, like maybe in like a stream chat on multiple occasions, right? You're part of the same community, like a lot of them, like peers at a company would be acquaintances, right? They're not friends, but they know each other. Maybe they need to know each other by name, We know very basic things like, oh, they're married or something of the nature, right?
Yes.
But they're not talking often. That's what I would consider, an acquaintance.
Right, but like maybe some
So I
people,
guess in this particular regard,
maybe some people that I'm friends with that are above acquaintances, I've actually played games with. I've actually we've played Risk of Rain together, or we've done stuff in another game. Risk of Rain's a good example because it's so easy to pick up and drop. But like an acquaintance is like outside of this streamer's chat, we've never interacted. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I think the big difference is like wanting to do activity outside the place you met them.
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty good like barrier. It's like wanting to do more stuff than where we met each other. Let's go to a barbecue and we can smoke some cigars in my backyard. Have a couple of beers. Talk about how our wives totally screw us.
Winter, we are friends.
You friends?
Yep. You pissed me the fuck off with V Rising, but I think I'm over that at this point.
Oh, what did they do about V Rising?
So Winter's young. They're like 20. And so I don't think they thought
That
about
sounds like an excuse already.
I don't think they thought about what they were doing. But basically we were playing V Rising. And three of us were having fun. Winter was just like, this game just isn't clicking with me, I'm not having fun. And so Winter stopped wanting to be there, but he didn't want to disappoint us. He didn't want to be like, I'm not having fun, I'm going to drop out of this. Instead, he'd be like, either AFK in town, or he would be like, I can't play today, we'll make sure it happens next week. And so, like, I'm the type of person who, if I have plans for that day, I set it apart that whole day. I have, like, 5 hours before, the scheduled time to play Divinity. And I'm like, I can't do fucking anything unless I can drop it right then and play Divinity. Anything else is just, like, this appointment is on my mind. And so, I would, like, cancel days for V Rising. And especially if it was like we hadn't played in 3 weeks, it's like, oh, we've got a V Rising day coming. And I'd be like, this is going to fucking happen. We are 100% making V Rising happening today. And then Winter would be like, this came up, I can't go. And it was like, at the time I was thinking, man, Winter's life is so busy and chaotic. I really need to make sure that I can be there. And then later on, he was like, guys, I really don't want to disappoint you. I've only been saying I can't go just because I haven't been having fun. He was busy, but he was doing this thing where it was like, I just didn't want to go, so I said I couldn't go. And I was like, I would have preferred you sent me a video of you shitting on a table. I was so mad. Because, like, if you're not having fun, he's a friend, right? I would never be like, well, put up with it for me. I'd have been like, oh, man, that sucks. Maybe we try to finish the game out real quick in, like, one last playthrough, or, we're done, right? But to me, it felt like he had just wasted 2 months. Because it was like... And maybe I shouldn't be talking about this in front of everybody. Maybe I should have, like, really sat him down and had this. It felt like...
hey, if you feel like that, you don't have to.
No, he's given me the cues. It's like, yeah, I'm okay with it, and things are better now. So I'm also just like, how do I word this? I felt like I had just had a lot of my... No, you don't. You don't deserve it like that, Winter. I just felt like he had wasted a ton of my time. And not just my time, but Zuvi and Aiko's time. And I look at it and I'm like, I know Winter is like a good and wholesome person, and he would not intentionally do that to us. It was just like, to sound like a boomer, it was a young and dumb moment and a learning experience for him. But there was a good 2-3...
Wait. Is this one of these situations like, I'm not angry at you, I'm disappointed?
No, I was just angry. I was just like, dude... It just felt like it just felt one of the biggest things for me is wasting my time. If I was raised like you never be late to stuff, you never like cancel on people if you can help it, because doing so is saying I don't care about your time. My time is more important. It actually caused me to have a pretty rough patch with Full initially, because he doesn't play games fast, right? But so when Winter did this, where he was Full Metal Ratchet,
Oh, okay.
when Winter did this, he had been trying to not like disappoint us. He was coming from a place of they're all having fun. I don't want to disappoint them. I'll keep playing, but I just can't today. And he didn't realize he was like, I'm setting aside a day to make sure this can happen. And then anything I could have done just now didn't. Like, I remember Sis would message me sometimes and be like, hey, do you want to do Monster Hunter? Or do you want to do Risk of Rain? I was like, nope, we've got V Rising today. And he'd be like, okay. But I was pretty mad at Winter for maybe a good 2 or 3 months after that. Since then, I've been like, all right, I gotta stop being a fucking pouty little petty bitch. And I'm back to posting in the group chat with him. And we did have a conversation. It was like, I wish you had told me that you weren't having fun. I wish, because I don't want you to not have fun and force yourself. Winter actually doesn't show up in chat that much, and I hope I'm not like, hey, he showed up, let's fucking blast him. Boom. I love you, Winter.
Winter, you piece of shit. I'll never forgive you.
I do joke that I hate Winter because I used to hang out with Selden and Casey a ton. And because I was like their new friend, they were both like, oh, Yulin's so cute. Yulin can't do anything wrong. And like, if I fucked up anything, they would just blame each other. And even the person would blame themselves to be like, well, Yulin wouldn't have done that. Yulin's too nice to do that. And then I introduced them to Winter, and the 4 of us played Monster Hunter together. And they were like, fuck you, Yulin. You're not as cute as Winter. And so I joke that like everything used to be great. I used to be treated like a princess. And then they met Winter, and they threw me in a ditch and were done with me.
Damn, yo, it sounds like we need to get rid of this Winter person, right? Look, hey, man, I got some context. This problem could be solved very quickly.
Now look at Winter, he's blue.
No problem can't be solved by the appropriate application of explosives. Hopefully somebody got that reference. Jeez Louise.
I feel like I've heard it before. I'm like, what is that from? What is that from?
It was from a movie called The Valkyrie that was starring Tom Cruise. And this was basically the assassination attempt by the Germans to kill Hitler.
I was going to guess that it was Atlantis from the Dynamite guy.
It's like... Oh, no. It was a bit more serious of a topic than that.
Well, hold on. Atlantis is a pretty serious movie.
Actually, I was just thinking about Atlantis, actually. Nikita, by the way, what the fuck, man? I feel like Nikita was like the start of a series of just like hot ladies in Disney.
Yeah.
Because there was you remember the scene where she was like undressing, gets like off her clothes, goes into the water, and like turns, it's like opening up her clothes, and Milo's like, oh my whoa.
I'm pretty sure she does a wet hair flip.
I was there right with Milo. I was like, oh my god, that's fucking awesome.
I'm pretty sure she does a wet hair flip at one point where like she goes underwater, comes back up, and does a yeah.
I feel like that was the start of Disney was like, no, what if we make the female protagonist like sexy? Like, what if we do that?
Did Atlantis come out first, or did Road to El Dorado come out first?
I'm pretty sure Atlantis did.
Okay.
Let's see here. Now I know you're thinking of Chell at this point. So
yes.
Disney Atlantis. So Disney Atlantis was a 2001 film.
Okay.
And then Disney Road to El Dorado. Oh, Road to El Dorado came out in 2000. Wow.
Oh!
I saw Road to El Dorado after Atlantis.
I don't remember which I saw first, but in my
Yeah.
eyes, Kita came first. But I was just thinking, like,
Yeah, but
I would have sworn Chell was like 2 or 3 years after, and just continuing the like hot main girl
I
thing.
thought it would be more of a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Chell apparently came first.
They're still like a little different in like appeal, though, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, one Kita is like much taller. I think like they're just like their structure is different. Their attitudes are much different. Where like Kita was like very like active and like aggressive and like proactive, or Chell was not really that.
she's much more bratty for sure.
Yes. But yeah, no, actually. So speaking of Atlantis,
Mhm.
This is just how my brain works. But basically, I'm coming to the end of me getting my current outfit completed. It's probably gonna be done here in the next couple of months, depending on how long the rigging takes. Because they've already been like working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the situation, like with that, so basically all my like hard work is like done. So like all the design, getting all like the rigging, all the payment, everything that's over, right? Everything is done.
Yes.
So I said like sit back, maybe do some testing to make sure it's working correctly, but all the hard stuff is already done.
Hell yeah.
So my mind's like, well, what about your next outfit?
Oh no.
Right?
You gotta enjoy it for a
The thing
little
is,
bit.
because it takes so
longer.
long.
True.
No. Actually, I don't. Okay, so this is the situation. So I remember debuting as a VTuber back in 2001 October, and it was literally the next month, November. I was already working and just getting the next design for my next outfit. Now, it originally started as an outfit, but because of the situation with the artist, where basically everyone scanned me and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh well. The thing is, like, I'm gonna have to find a new artist. I'm gonna need to find a new rigger. So like everything is already changing. The art style is gonna have to change. So I might as well just get a new model, right? And that's when I'm like, well, I should get a new design. I should do these things, and so that's kind of how it went.
Mm.
So and the outfit actually this time around actually was significantly quicker turnaround, whereas the first one from 1.0 to 2.0 was 13 months. This one seems to be about 6 or 7, depending on how fast the rigging is. So it's like half the time, like third of the cost, right? It's much,
Yeah.
So much easier.
It is a lot simpler of an outfit. There's a lot less belts for sure.
True, I do. Well, there's. I mean, I guess it depends. We say simple, but there's a lot more like jewelry.
Oh.
So there's like the bangle. They have all the jewelry. So I don't know if it's easier or not. And I heard that one of the things that my rigger is doing better this time around is that they can do more hip and shoulder movement. So I'm actually gonna be able to like turn and like move my model more.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now, unfortunately, this is not happening to the original one, which I think would actually benefit it more, considering that one actually shows more skin compared to a dress. But don't worry, I got that planned already. That's like a little bit later.
Let's fucking go.
I know. I'm gonna be able to like do a hip wiggle. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. People will redeem the thighs, and you'll be able to like really pop and lock it.
Exactly. So yeah, but yeah, I've already been kind of thinking about the next outfit, and I think that I want to go for more of an outfit that would make sense when she was living in her tribe. So it's kind of like her traditional garb.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well,
Ooh.
so exactly. So I'm like, well, I know the inspirations from where I took, which is a lot of like Native American and like other tribal cultures from our world that would have existed over in the southwestern part of America. So like Native Mexicans, Aztecs. I didn't do Ingans. That's too far south. But like all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, where like I don't have to do that straight. So like, what other stuff? I'm like, oh well, like Disney had some interesting stuff. And looked at like Tears of the Kingdom because they have their own kind of like aesthetic that I think is like really interesting. So I'm like, I wonder what kind of like traditional garb I can think of.
So
I'm thinking about that.
I had like a double take in my thoughts when you first said like the traditional tribal garb, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then my mind like actually pieced together what that meant. I was like, wait, oh no, that's really cool. Because
So, wait, what do you mean? Ooh, it's really cool.
well, so I've heard like the Rook lore many times about how she came from this tribe of harpies that's
Yeah.
lost to civilization. Like nobody really knows where they are, right?
It's not that they don't exist. It's like they have like oral traditions and whatnot, and so
Well,
the only
I didn't mean to say
the humans don't know anything.
I didn't mean to say like they're lost and like they don't exist anymore, but like they're so not out there in the wilderness, but so difficult to like interact with that
Yes, they would be very difficult.
they're very unknown by the lore.
Oh, well, yes. I guess in this regard, it probably will come with some more lore information about. I already have like all the answers, but I don't want to like release it because there's no particular need to. It's not like I don't have to release all my lore at the same time.
Right, of
I'm
course.
just, like, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, still not gonna say the real name. By the way, nobody knows Rook's real name.
Mm-hmm. Is that a someday
Well, actually,
thing,
one
or
person in my lore knows her real name.
is that gonna happen someday, or is that?
Yes, that is a thing that will be discovered later in the story, as one might say, in a fantasy
Hell
novel.
yeah!
I already have ideas of when that may happen, but we'll see.
My treadmill always stops at 3.6 miles. Although it's at 3.8 right now. I don't fucking know. It doesn't say like we're gonna go this far and then that'll be the end of your daily workout. It just stops there. It's like a really nice treadmill, but like the software of it is just kind of dumb. And so like it has this really cool incline feature. It tracks a lot of stats, but like it doesn't have an off button. To turn it off, I have to pull the magnet on it. There's a magnet on a rope, and at the other end of the rope is a clip. So you're supposed to clip that to your clothes. If you fall, it will disconnect the magnet so that you're not hurting yourself at the back of the treadmill if it's like against a wall or something.
Okay, interesting.
It doesn't have an off button though. The only way to turn it off is to disconnect that magnet. And so it's like, physically, it's a great treadmill, but the software is just like, why is there no off button? Why is there no, like, this turns off at 3.5 miles, and this is your indicator for, like, what we think should be a daily workout for you? There's just things that are like, why doesn't it do that?
Very strange.
But I didn't pay for it. My parents just kind of had it, and I was like, I'm going to use this, and they're like, okay. We're happy to see you exercise.
Oh, okay. That seems good. I won't say no.
I would have wanted like an omnidirectional treadmill, but I don't know if those can track stats.
Look, you're just asking for too much because you'd be like, oh well, I mean, now that we have this, I might as well use this for VR, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
Yeah, I see. I know where your brain's going.
So if I had to buy my own treadmill, I probably would have gotten an omnidirectional. They're like $1,300, and this thing.
It's very expensive.
Well, I don't even know how much this thing is. It's probably like $2,500.
Maybe at the time, but I don't.
No, so it's definitely a hand-me-down. Like my parents didn't even buy it. Their friend was just like, "I'm getting rid of this thing," and they're like, "We'll buy it off you." And so, but like to get a new one, if I had nothing and I was in an apartment by myself and I was like, I need a treadmill, I think something similar to this would have been more expensive than an omnidirectional. I need
You
water.
stopped talking.
Did I?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You did indeed. I was just wondering. Oh, did they, do the famous streamer move of muting?
No, when I was thinking, like, did I mute myself or something? But yes, I stopped talking. I think this would have been more expensive than an omnidirectional.
Well, I unfortunately I do not know because I haven't really looked into like super expensive exercise equipment because that is so far down the priority list at this point because I can just do things like if I really need a hard workout, I could just go run on the beach, and that's really hard.
Yeah? Sand? Do you have good
Yeah.
sand or bad sand? You're on the Pacific, so you should have good sand.
What's bad sand?
Bad sand is like full of rocks and shit. Like, you don't want to be barefoot on it.
Well, that's not really sand. Okay, so I would say we have both because we have different types of beaches here because we have like just off the top of my head within like if you wanted to drive a little bit more, like we're talking like actually like we're talking okay, so like instead of driving 5 minutes, you want to drive 10 minutes. We have like 5 beaches. They're all a little different.
Oh.
So we have okay, I won't say the exact names because then they'll just kind of give away where I live.
Yeah.
But we have one where basically all the tourists go. It's like a really big, nice, flat, open stretch of beach. We constantly have to clean it up because the people who are tourists feel like they don't have to clean up after themselves. They leave fire pits full of just like garbage. So we constantly have people whose job is basically just to clean up tourists' trash because they don't feel like it. But we'll take their money. Thank you very much. So we have that one. Then other ones are a lot less known. We have like we have a couple of like hidden ones where you have to go on like a trail for like a mile or two, and then you'll get into like this nice beach. There's a couple of those, and then on the other side of town, we actually have 3 beaches. So we actually have like this point where you go down to the right side, and it's all like tide pools, and it's a lot more rocky. And then if you go to that's the left side. If you go to the right side, it's more of pebbles. And this is where a lot of people do like agate hunting. So they actually go there, they'll try like find sand dollars, they'll try like find agates. You know, it's like small stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
And then if you go all the way down to where we actually go down toward one of the multiple lighthouses we have in the area, you'll find it's a lot. That's basically where all the locals go when they don't like. It's just like a very. It's like a nice beach on the other side. It has no tourist things over, right? So there's like nothing there. There's just like the open. So there's no like restaurants. There's nothing there. It's just the beach. So a lot of people go there to like surf. If you're local, you go there to walk. It's a nice area. That's one I go to actually.
I see. I grew up in Fairfield, which is between Sacramento and between Sacramento and San Francisco. And so if we wanted
Fairfield's between Sacramento and Fairfield.
I know. If we wanted to go to the beach,
yes.
it was basically we're going near San Francisco, and it was just like everything there was just trash. Everything there was just like you could see the ammonia foam, and it was just like, ugh, you don't want to swim in this. When I've never spent too much time there, but my parents actually own a second house in Florida. They're actually going to migrate there for the winter, come either Thanksgiving or after Christmas, because Missouri is too cold for them. And so they'll go down there. It's on, I think it's called West Palm Beach. It's south of Fort Myers, and it's just this sandbar island that you have to take a ferry to get to. And there is one single restaurant on the island.
You've described it.
And so that one's a really nice beach. But they do deal with hurricanes. I actually kind of messed up my plans last year. They delayed going there for like 2 or 3 months because their house got damaged in the Hurricane Ian. And that made them stay here.
You, Ian!
That made them stay here for an extra 3 months. This year, there's a hurricane going on right now, but I think it's on a different part of Florida that it shouldn't affect them.
Okay.
Hi, hun. We definitely weren't talking about you earlier.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Yes, hello, hon. Hope you're doing well.
Llama.
Also, this is like... What do you mean llama?
We just walked by a llama.
No. Oh, I had a llama. I think that's an alpaca, actually.
Probably. I think you're right.
I think they're more furry, which is why I'm like, oh yeah, they're the ones with the hairdo.
Look, I learned about
Yeah, no,
llamas
no,
way
no.
before alpacas, so I just call both of them llamas, and then like I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, alpacas are the nice cuddly ones. Llamas are the aggressive spit in your face ones.
Yeah, technically both of them will do that, but you know,
They will, but
yes,
alpacas
llamas
are
are a bit
a
more-
lot nicer.
yeah, they're less aggressive.
Side note though,
Yeah, no, only good things, Hunt.
llamas make great guard dogs.
So do geese.
Well, like in places like well, anywhere in the U.S. with like farmlands, there's a few farms that like they have their herd of cows, and then they have a
Mhm.
llama, just one llama, who just takes to the herd and gets along with them. But those things will fucking kill wolves.
Oh, see, it's the same situation with geese, actually. What they'll do is they'll have like a big pack of chickens,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll just have a geese grow up with the chickens, so they think it's family. And the geese is just like, obviously very aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
and very protective. And so, like, it's just the guard dog, and they do it much better than, like, actual dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in fact, it's so funny. And I don't know how much, like, this is historically accurate, but I do think it's actually kind of funny, where I think there was things called guard geese, because there's some more, they just observe more than actual dogs, that they are better at detecting assassins than, say, guard dogs. So you have guard geese.
That's funny. Imagine being an assassin and being like, this guy doesn't even have guard dogs. He's got a stupid bird.
I mean, the thing is, it's fucking loud.
And then the alarm goes off. They're like, oh god, somebody
the
shut
alarm
this
of the-
bird up.
Yeah. The thing is, it kind of makes sense to me to a degree where, like, I don't know, I'm not sure how it is, would be in the past, but hearing fucking dogs bark, I'm just totally desensitized to it. I don't fucking pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't fucking care about dogs barking, but I hear fucking a geese honk. That's fucking loud and different.
So
right, so
there's one dog that scares me. Anytime I have to walk our boxer, I walk by this house that has a German Shepherd. And this German Shepherd is just an asshole. He likes to be outside, and he has like a dog door to go outside, and he'll just sit in his front yard and just bark at anybody walking by this house. And he never leaves his like yard. He just barks and looks like he's going to kill you. And it's very intimidating. And so like that barking, when it's like he's not on a leash, he looks ready to go, that one kind of scares me, but like any other barking, typically no. But then a geese, yeah. I'm so unaccustomed to that if I heard that, I'd be like, oh, fucking shit.
I don't know. The thing with the dogs is that I have no love lost with dogs, especially larger dogs. I just like. I mean, at this point, what are you really using a big dog for? Like, well, like, so maybe in the past there could have been like some use case. I feel like, oh, it's you and the dogs against the world, and you're like hunting with them and whatnot. Sure, whatever, right? But like, the majority is not that anymore. So what are you doing with them, right?
Yeah, I'd say
I
for
don't know.
most
I
people
just-
they
I
just
just don't
like
understand.
Snuggle Buddy. Thank you for the follow, Sropai. There's no fence, by the way, Hunt. We don't have fences in Missouri. So that's why I'm so like... This dog could just fucking start running across the street at us.
The thing is, the owners would have to, the thing is, like, the owners should be really wary about that, because, like, if that dog ever does injure anybody, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, they're screwed. They're 100% liable for that dog.
They just trust the dog to not go after people. They're just like, yeah, we want him to keep people, walking to the other side of the street when they go by our house. But he's not gonna go. I guess they're confident, but I wouldn't be that
I
confident.
mean, there's also the thing, I guess, I don't know the laws of Missouri, but, like, the thing is, it doesn't even have to, like, chase people. Like, if it starts acting threateningly and a person really does feel like it's gonna hurt them, they could be self-defense things where they're just like, oh, I killed the dog. Oh, okay, whatever. Like, it was threatening me not on a leash.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, good luck. I can totally see that happening. I don't know. It just seems like an accident waiting to happen.
I agree. I kind of think they're assholes for knowingly having a dog that just is that mean to everybody that goes near it and just letting it go off leash. It's like, hey, can you like not be a menace to the neighborhood? I don't want to be scared walking down this part of the street.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is also, I could be biased because I don't particularly like most dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I think most dogs are just annoying. I'm sorry. Like, oh, you want a cute animal? Well, that's what cats are for.
I like...
You don't hear people dying from cats, all right? You don't hear people getting majorly injured from a cat attack.
I like dogs when I don't have to take care of them. To me, they're expensive, and they're a responsibility to take care of. Any pet is. But when I just live in the same house as one, and it's not my responsibility, and I can walk by, put something in the microwave for 3 minutes, and be like, come here, let me pet you. That's when I'm like, all right, I'm fucking down with this dog. But owning my own pet, that's effort. That's a responsibility.
Also, what are you confused about, by the way? Yopai, what's going on? Tell us what you're confused by. Say it, I'll listen.
Allow us to answer your questions and enlighten you.
Mm-hmm. I will
Slash
illuminate.
me redeems Uncle Lofam.
Slash me? What? What's slash me?
Slash me is the same as slash E in World of Warcraft. It basically puts it in like an emote form in Twitch and matches the text to
the
your name
roleplay.
color. Yeah. The roleplay that I keep getting in trouble for in people's chats.
Oh man, I just want to smell those grippers. Oh, sorry, wrong chat.
I had a good one recently.
It's like, oh no, come back and explain yourself. What was that?
I had a good one recently. I remember whose chat it was in. It was in Kitty DVRs, but I don't know what I said. But they just looked at it and they were like, what? What chat was that for? And I was like, have I not done that here? Oh, this is going to be a good time.
Freaking troll. I can't believe you troll people.
I'm not a troll, I'm an entertainer.
What have they ever done to you?
Streamers love it when I do that shit.
Well, actually,
Gives them a
the thing is, you can't use that argument.
Okay,
No,
well,
like, you can't use that. Okay, one, you were not an entertainer at that point. Maybe you are now, but you're not. You are not then.
I think
So
you can be entertaining in other people's chats.
Also, man, I just thought of something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, like I don't think that would like happen to me, but just I guess maybe it would be these same people. But just imagine like you come into a person's chat and you're more entertaining than the person streaming. Right? Like, wouldn't that be like all the worst nightmare of just like, oh my god, I can't believe they paid more attention to some random chatter than me. Boo, right?
So yes, and I've seen instances of this happening where
Really?
oh yeah, so like you have a streamer and maybe they're like really hitting off with like a bigger streamer, right? So like let's say somebody streams 10, let's say somebody else streams 100, and the two of them have just been hanging out and like always doing stuff together. Well, the big streamer will come into the smaller streamer's chat, and some of the people from the bigger streamer's chat will follow them and be trying to just talk to that bigger streamer and ignoring the smaller streamer.
Yeah.
It's very annoying and like bad chatter behavior.
Yes. This is like an unspoken rule. What was it? I hadn't known what happened, but apparently Admiral Baru had done something very similar to one of their, I'm doing quotation friends here, where basically like they would come into the chat and their chatters would come with them, right? Mm-hmm. So they like not only would you have the initial like spam of emotes and all that kind of stuff, but they would just like take over the chat, talk to Baru instead of say the streamer who was actually going on, and like it would basically destroy their chat. And I know how important chats are to, I guess, the quality of a stream. And if your chat just gets destroyed from from a friend for an extended periods of time, constantly, I can see how that can be really annoying.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't like Baru. All that shit that came out with him was like, ugh.
Yeah, well, okay, so man, I don't know. I can't totally hate them because I don't think they did anything like illegal, which there are other people that we know.
Yes.
That definitely had done what I would say is like illegal activity. They just seem like a not great person and a bad friend.
I would say there's like maybe 3 levels of like illegal activity, scummy activity, and then like bad manners. And Baru is mostly at bad manners. I think there was a little bit of scummy with the stuff he was like.
I think
because he was trying to sabotage some other streamers that were like not getting along with the one he was interacting with.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know about that. We don't know. That's like unfounded, which is why it's like maybe scummy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Because you also have to say it's also coming from the point of view of the person who's aggrieved here, and like I'm like, well, I'm gonna take some things with a grain of salt, but it does seem that like they were not a great person just in general. So, what was it? Who the? Oh man, what it was? And like this is kind of crazy to me, by the way. Like. I don't think I ever talked to you about this. I'm just gonna say I was fucking right. Like I was right years ago, and nobody fucking listened to me. And I'm gonna rub it in everybody's faces whenever I get the chance. Who is the Arcadum? Do you remember Arcadum?
Yes, 15.6%. Is that the number?
What is that? Wait, I don't know.
Okay, so I'll talk about Arcadum first because mine's really small. He had a conversation with one of the girls that he was fucking with. And he was like, oh, he was doing his guilt trippy shit. Everybody hates me. I don't have any real friends. And she was like, do you really think all these people that are around you don't consider you a friend? And he was like, yes, I do. I've calculated the math. Only 15.6 of them would actually be my friends if I wasn't a stepping stone to their streaming careers. And it was just like, it was such a ridiculous statement that she started laughing and was like trying to suppress it to like, because she was recording him to get incriminating shit on him. She knew at this point he was a fucking loser. But he belted out a number of, I've calculated only these many people are actually my friends. And she was just like, oh my god, this guy literally thinks he's Light Yagami or something. It's a fucking incredible video. Google.
Oh man.
Google Gaslight Yagami. It's the funniest shit ever.
Okay, maybe I will at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So my story comes all these many years ago. This was actually way before Arcadum was ever very popular. So this is, I'm talking like 2019.
Okay.
Right, so this is before, and like they were just starting to dip their toes into considering doing VR chat roleplay. So like none of that stuff had even existed. They were like pretty well known for like D&D stuff, but nothing large. They were not pulling in large people. I think they had done some D&D stuff with streamers, but it was very, very little. And I remember because I was hanging out with Lele, and this is the thing is like their contacts with like Lele and a couple other people were basically how they really got into larger streamers, because at least maybe as far as I know, because basically they kind of like stepstoned from streamer to streamer like to bigger and bigger streamers as they became more like well known for what they were doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
For D&D. But there was a time where he was meeting up with Lele, and it was like us and a bunch of friends, and everyone's like freaking out. I'm like, oh, I don't know who this Arcadum guy is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I'd role played for literally almost like basically since I could speak English, I was role playing. Like that's how early I was, and I was a game master for like a decade. I'm like, all right, let's see who this guy is, right? I'm like, all right, let's see how it goes. I have some role playing experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met the guy, and he was so narcissistic. I'm like, this guy's a piece of shit. Like he is just bad news. Like within like a minute of meeting him, like this guy's just an asshole. Why are people even like? Like, he just treats people like garbage. Why are you even like talking to this guy? We should just like not talk to him. We should just move on. But for some reason, people are like, oh yeah, oh god, blah blah. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I remember, I think I remember telling Layla, I'm like, this guy's just an asshole. Why are people even talking to them? I was like, oh, well, he's a really good, game master, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever you say.
You want to know who that is for me? So you just want to say, because I want to hear that.
Oh, I was gonna say, I just want to say, I was fucking right. All right, all back in 2019, everything could have been avoided if people just listened to what I said. I'd be like, that guy's an asshole. All right, if you just said cut them off from the communities and not let them grow, maybe they would have been a different. The thing is, it could have been better for everybody. Maybe they would have been a different person. Doubtful, but
Do you know who the VRChat streamer Hazard was?
No, is it Blue Hazard?
Yes, they were blue. They were
Blue Hydra.
No, not Blue Hydra. They were blue though. Their avatar was like a blue bunny with these red circular sunglasses. This guy
doesn't ring a bell.
The first time I saw him was on a Chromia stream, and Chromia had done a stream. She was Chromia was getting evicted. Her family had been given an eviction notice. It was unless you pay $10,000 in property debt, you're out. And so Chromia was just like, fuck it. I don't know what my family's going to do. It literally looks like we're going to be homeless and lose everything. So last stream, $10,000 donation goal. And the VRChat community fucking came together and literally hit that goal.
Is Chromia still mute? Kind of an off thing, by the way.
I believe so.
Really? That's surprising.
I haven't checked in with them for a while.
No. Chromia is still 100% around. I know.
Yeah.
I 100% know she's still around. She's actually quite successful, if I remember correctly.
Obviously, when you do a 24-hour subathon or goal, and it gets hit, you're probably gonna break down and cry, right? So at one point, she's just crying.
Yes.
And Hazard is sitting there getting in the camera, just introducing himself and I've known this girl for so long, just making it about him. And I was just like, I want this guy to go away. I don't fucking like this guy. And anytime I'd see him interact with people, it was just I don't like what he's doing. When he got partner, he went to every single stream he knew. Hi, Nutty. Nutty's a longtime friend.
No.
He went to every single stream possible and was like, look at me, I got partner, I'm king of the world. And then he was leaving. He wasn't going there just to talk. I literally saw him in 6 different streams show up just to announce he got partner. And I was like, man, I'm happy for you. Good job on getting it. But fuck, dude, I feel like this is the wrong way to celebrate by advertising your partner status in 100 different streams. We've only recently started Nutty. I have a story about Nutty because their name is really funny. And so I always I didn't like Hazard, but I was oh, they're so nice and wonderful. So it's just all right, I don't like him, but I trust you on this. He got outed big time. You see, Hazard seemed to always have something going wrong in his life. At one point, he got cancer. At one point, his uncle died.
What?
At one point, his dog had cancer. He got COVID. He got COVID a second time. He just always had emergency money donation going on. When he got COVID the second time, he announced, on Twitter, I've got COVID. I'm not going to be able to stream for a few days. I'll try to play some easy games where I can just have a live 2D model or something. I don't even know if he had that back then. But, we'll do some simple streams, not VRChat. The next day, he posted a picture, yo, I'm out for Korean barbecue with the boys. And everybody's like, wait, hold on. You just announced that you had COVID yesterday. What the fuck do you mean you're out with the boys? And apparently a lot of streamers...
Zillion OP.
A lot of streamers knew he was doing this shit, And some of them like really cracked down on him. They were like, "You're gonna fucking like admit all this shit you've done, or we're leaking DMs and we're fucking outing you." And he really didn't want to do it. They literally had to like grab him by the scruff of the neck and force him to admit that he was just scamming people. And after that, he, obviously the entire VRChat community turned on him, and they were like, "Fuck this dude." He tried streaming like a week after that, as if nothing had happened, and immediately like 300 people came in and were like, "Close your stream, get the fuck out of here. No one loves you." And so he was very.
That part also kind of sucks. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, he literally was facing criminal charges because you're not allowed to open up donation. Yeah, you're not allowed to open like a cancer donation fund when you don't have cancer.
Wait, no, you faked cancer?
He faked cancer. He faked cancer.
Okay, that's fraud. Like,
he
that's
faked
100% fraud.
He faked his uncle dying. He faked his dog dying. He had a COVID fund.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, he was literally doing illegal felonies. And it was like, they went after him. He had to start paying it back. I don't know on the status of him being able to pay it back. I just know he tried to come back once, and everyone was like, "Get the fuck out of here." He actually tried to come back recently. He tried to talk to Sean VR. Supposedly, probably shut the fuck up, sis. He tried talking to Sean VR, like, "Hey, I'm on VR chat again," and Sean was like, "Well, you're not coming to my stuff." And so that was the person that, like, I knew. I always knew. I was like, this guy, I don't fucking like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I also found out he would try to pull shit with the female streamers. He would hug them like a little too much and motorboat them in VR, and was like, dude, fucking gross. And
dude, man,
yeah.
And people are just like, "Oh, they're so nice," as they just have so many red flags. Like the fake moon landing. It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, like, it was all behind the scenes.
That was a joke.
I don't know what it's referencing, right? Or unless you're saying the moon landing had a red flag.
No, I said yeah, that's what I was saying.
I was implicating that I literally said the fake moon landing.
Okay.
Which is why so many red flags, right? Like,
Gotcha. No, like,
yeah,
all of his stuff was either like really subtle or just behind the scenes. Like, most people didn't see him being inappropriate with female streamers. That was like one-on-one in a room, like, "Hey, come join me so we could say hi." Neither of them is streaming. And then like, "Oh, come here and give me a hug." And just like being weird like that, right? And like...
And nobody just said anything. Like, this guy's a fucking creep, man. He's trying to fucking motorboat me.
It goes back to that thing earlier with, like, this guy is so well connected in the community, and everybody, his reputation is he's the nice guy that's nice to everybody. Not like the shitty nice guy, but like genuinely, like, everybody likes him, and he's so kind and just comforting to everybody. But behind doors, he was shitty. And so it's just like, how do you, especially if you're a smaller streamer or like the same size as them, how do you say, this guy sucks ass and he's doing all this shit? And people, because like,
I mean, I know what that is. Because I know what that feels like. Because I literally told people that, like, at that. And the thing is, basically, how to describe this? How much does the truth matter to you? It's like, that's the big question to you, right?
Yeah.
Because if you value it, then you'll just say it, and then, like, well, I guess I wouldn't say like the truth. I would say, how secure do you feel? Because the big question is like, if you have real friends, like if people who are like, I wouldn't say real friends, but people who like know you and trust you to some degree, I mean, they don't believe they're just gonna make shit up, right? They're like personally know and say, "Hey, I feel like this, blah blah blah, blah for whatever reason, blah 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 blah," and then they're just like, no, or like you had a personal experience, then people blow it off. Those are red flags in themselves for the people around you, and you need to know. And like at that point, you need to like change your situation and like get new friends or get into a different community, whatever it is.
Well, also with the streaming community, a lot of them aren't friends. A lot of them, it's their job, right? So it's not just like,
yes,
these friends are, not good friends and I need to distance myself from them. It's, do I jeopardize my whole income?
well, it's not your whole income, but it's like I know that feeling of like, hey, I need to be friendly with this person to, because like part of it's also like professionalism at the same time.
Yep.
But even then, if like they were like actually like really shitty, like for the stuff that were like 100% like crimes, I would just say it, right? I don't fucking care. Like, but if it's just like shitty behavior, I would first want the people who actually had it happen to them speak up first. But then if I kept saying like, oh, this person, this and this and this and this, I'm like, hey, we should like say something, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not going to police your own community, who's going to?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Nutty Keys. So Nutty has
Nut.
3 siblings. No, 2 siblings. And they had one Xbox account. And so they were like, what's a name?
It's my turn on Xbox. It's my Xbox. Our name
True.
Sony.
True. So they were like, we need to come up with a name for our account that works for all of us, right? You know, we can't name it after the oldest because the other 2 are gonna be like, what the fuck? So they were like, hey, we're kids, we're nutty, let's name it Nutty Kids. And that was great for a time, but they grew up and they were like, oh, you know, this kind of had some implications and maybe we should change it. And so I think now it's like just Nutty's account. I don't think his 2 siblings mess with it at all. They have changed it to Nutty Keys though, because Nutty Kids just looks bad, right?
yeah, no, that I'm nutty in what again?
It's such a like wholesome start, like, oh, we're 3 nutty kids. What a perfect name.
Yeah, a little sus, just a little bit sus. Those are words you don't normally put together in a good sentence.
Mm-hmm. When does Nutty join me for a walk? I haven't actually seen Nutty in VR for like 2 years. Sean is kind of cringe. Sean is kind of cringe. I think his community loves that.
Let's rap, kid.
Oh god.
I'm glad you know what I'm even talking about. I'm gonna get my baseball cap, I'm gonna put it on backwards, I'm gonna flip this chair around, and we're gonna talk about why doing drugs is bad.
Hi, Vladix. You said let's rap, and I immediately thought of the pregnant Sonic video with the guy flipping the chair around, going, "Can I rap with you for a moment?"
Oh my god! At least the reference is sound. All right, the reference is correct in both regards.
Yeah. So I knew Nutty was on for the entire Slyfest because like 2 or 3 years ago, he discovered it, and he's like, "I've been on for 72 hours." Oh, it's like a big concert in VR. If I remember correctly,
no, I had heard about that.
If I remember
with
correctly,
Nagi, but I didn't have power.
Oh, that sucks. I could be wrong on this. I think they have like one main world, and then they have like a bunch of other clones of that world connected to the main one, so you can see the DJ in all of the worlds. So the DJ is like in the main world DJing, but if you go to like your own private version of this, you'll see that DJ.
Okay.
I think I understand that correctly.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh dude. Let's see here. Yes, it was literally the days I had no power. This is garbage.
That's so unfortunate. They might have some of it on YouTube. Nutty probably knows. Nutty, is there any way to like see the stuff that was missed? Nutty went to that Slyfest like 2 or 3 years ago and overnight became a rave kid.
I mean, I don't know. I don't particularly like rave music generally. There's very few cases that I like rave. I think breakcore is probably the closest I would say that I come to enjoy that kind of stuff.
I see.
Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. Well, I guess I'll ask Inagi to see if they have any favorites.
Mm-hmm. I hate this zone,
yeah.
Lofam.
So speaking,
Just flaunts the set
What?
rack and how we can't have them.
okay, we're not talking. Okay, look, the last time I was here,
I
we
know.
talked WoW for like 4 hours. We're not. Look, we don't need to rehash this again. It's a freaking crime. That's the snake people, the Sethrak. They are not in there. Man. Okay, dude, and they could be druids, right?
They could have been.
And then we could finally have.
We could have had
And then we
Druids
can
of the
finally have a
Fang!
snake form.
Oh my god, I
know,
never
that's
thought
right,
about
you
that.
exactly knew what I was going for.
I never thought about that. Why did you say that? I'm actually more upset than I was a moment ago. I wanted Snake Druid for so long. Hi, Jack.
Me too. It's like one of the first other forms you see, and we never get it.
That's upsetting.
I know.
And they haven't even given us a glyph for it. Why can't we even have, like, a glyph? Oh, man.
And see, the thing is, it would be so easy to just like kind of like do the aesthetics. So instead of like rip and bleed, it would just be poisons, or even like it just look like poisons, right? You don't have to. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want to. Like, it would be so easy to change what it looks like and be cool. And the thing is, like, let's say you didn't want to do like poisons, you could do like the Sethrak thing where it's like lightning, and it's like you could make it look like that. You could make it look so cool. But no, of course not. We're not gonna do the cool snake people and have Druids of the Fang. We're not gonna have anything like that.
They could have done something as simple as, like, just taking the Druid cat form red slashes and turning those green. Like, even that
with
would
like a little bit of lighting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Not fair.
Anyway, yes. You know,
I am on a treadmill.
cope and seethe.
Check this out, Nutty. We're in the Black Cat.
Mm-hmm.
This is a YouTube video. So far, we have gone 5.4 miles. Shut the fuck up, sis.
Cool.
And Lost
Whoa,
One.
nutty.
Lost One increased the incline 3%. So it's harder than usual. I'm very sweaty.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about WoW, right?
We're-
even though you
we're
just
not.
had a revelation that makes you even sad. Now, okay, look. I had the terrible thought of like, what if I played retail with Yulin? And then I would be able to do stuff with people that I know. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to resist.
If you
Right.
wanted to just come raid with us once a week, you can. You would full clear heroic. It's once a week. If you ever
I see, but
want
the problem is I can't really do that because I stream, right?
Mm.
And I stream quite a bit.
You could stream it. We might ask you to mute Discord.
That's just go.
No, people have streamed it in our group. I haven't. I don't
Just
know.
wait until Yulin becomes the next big WoW streamer.
Oh God, no.
You're
People are
gonna
gonna
be
see.
the next Asmongold kid.
People are gonna see everything I do wrong in video games and be like, "What the fuck?" No. If the next raid comes out and you just want to try it for a month and like have a raid group, you have an in.
I don't have anything ready. I don't have a character. I don't have anything, so I would have to do everything.
I don't think you need a character ready. I think there's gonna be like the week or two before they're gonna give some catch-up gear, and you could just
That
show
makes
up.
me really angry. By the way, I fucking wish they would stop doing that crap. Make people progress through the raids.
I like it and I dislike it. Because I really like progressing through the raids, right? But I also am very sympathetic to people who are like, oh, I've just been able to play now and I want to join my friends. Oh, it's going to take me 3 months to catch up progressing through raids to catch up to them.
Okay, but here's the thing. Right?
Mhm.
I've said this before, and I'm going to use the famous Blizzard quote from this. You think you do, but you don't. You think you want to immediately go with your friends and do all these things, right? Because you feel like your friends are not going to play with you because you're not on the same level as them, right? That's why you want these catch-up mechanics. Now, they would be shitty friends if they did that, first of all.
Yeah,
especially if they got you into the game. And two, And the thing is, like, they can do also. There's so many things that they could do to actually play with you effectively on that level on many ways, right? They could do different specs, they could do different characters, they could do all these things. So you have all these options to them.
They would just carry you through Mythic Dungeons
now,
also, just...
I mean, they could also do that, like, but at the same time, the huge negatives cannot be overcome with other mechanics that would exist in the game. Catch-up mechanics destroy whole entire parts of the expansion. You'll just never get to really experience.
I think I would prefer no catch-up.
That does more...
I
prefer
like
no catch-up, but for a huge degree.
I'm just saying I'm sympathetic to the logic of having catch-up mechanics.
I'm not actually sympathetic because I don't think they've thought them through.
I think they have thought them through, but I would say they're looking at a view of, like, the players haven't thought it through. So even though everything you're saying is how it would go, players look at it like, oh, I'm not going to play because I'd have to catch up, and that'd be hard. And they don't care about the actual experience.
WoW was the most successful when it didn't exist.
I know. But gamers are dumb, and they're going to look at it that way.
Yeah, they are actually. They are actually dumb. I
they
actually
really are.
They are dumb.
Have you seen people complaining about Starfield?
What's wrong with Starfield? I mean, other than we all know it's going to be a buggy mess in the beginning, right?
So,
we know that.
A few copies got leaked, and some of the boundaries have been found. It's like, if you can land anywhere on a planet, but, like, that planet is still, like, a thing. It's not going to, like, infinitely go on forever. And when you land on a planet, it's like, if you just walk in any direction for 46 minutes, that's how much loads. So you can have a huge view distance. But it's not like making a planet the size of the literal United States in a game. And it's not like a whole solar system.
Okay.
There's teleporting. If you want to go to Mars, instead of spending 3 months flying to Mars, because that would be realistic, you teleport to Mars, and it's like 3 months pass, and you're at Mars now. And people are like, this is so dumb. I wanted 1 million planets. I wanted to have to fly to Mars. It's like, they never said that was coming. That's the other game, I think, PlanetSide, or whatever the other game that, like, was crazy with ambitious.
PlanetSide is a different franchise.
It's not PlanetSide. It's
just gonna say that out there.
What's the game that, like, was promising you can go through the entire universe? No Man's Sky. People were thinking it was just going to be No Man's Sky.
That's a little different.
And it's like, no. At no point did they say that was going to happen.
Not even No Man's Sky does that because the planets are much smaller than that. Also, I want to, like, point out, because, like, this is, like, probably a known psychology thing. 99.99999% of people are never going to see the limits. So why do they fucking care?
I took a drink. Because gamers are dumb.
Because, like, simply this thing, like, so Minecraft has huge worlds. It could literally take you hours of running across, or whatever you're going to do. You get across these worlds. There's mods that expand it even further, right? You have multiple realms you can go through on all these things, tons of things you can find and do, blah, blah, blah. And 99.9% of my gameplay is within, like, 20 chunks.
Yeah.
Even underground. Because I build, I don't go, like, crazy exploring and whatnot.
Well,
there's very few times that
unless
I do,
you're looking for a jungle, but
I found that jungle.
You did.
First of all, I found that jungle. I got everything but the birds, but I technically did get the birds. They just disappeared for some reason.
That was so tragic with the birds.
I know. I was like, what? Where did my birds go?
Absolute tragedy.
So, but I know, I'm very sad about that. But yes, so.
But yeah, most people are going to stay in 20 chunks and not go to the limits. If anything, most people aren't even going to see a YouTube about going to the limits.
Correct. I still haven't even seen the like going to the limits YouTube. I don't particularly care.
I've seen it because Core's
Minecraft for me is about building.
Core got it in her head that she wanted to see the limits, and then we watched a bunch of videos about the limits and building beyond the limits and how crazy that is.
All right, interesting. Did it work well?
No, it's a buggy mess, and like the rules of physics break down in Minecraft at that point. But people did it. They built houses out there.
Oh, yay, fun.
You get to a point where like entire swaths of like 10 blocks just disappear. So it's like you have 10 blocks to walk on and all the stuff under that, and then it's just like the 10 blocks in front of you, everything below is gone. And you just start getting lines of ground like that.
Very interesting. Okay. I don't know. This just never really interests me. The draw of Minecraft is not that. If you want an exploration game, there's much better ones.
I think it's neat to learn about.
Like Minecraft has been out for so long, but the thing is, like, if you really think about it, their release cadence is fucking glacier. It is so slow.
Oh, God, I've been hearing about the Minecraft update with the caves and the deep dark or something for like years. I don't even know if it's out or fully
It
out.
is.
Okay.
I think it's finally fully out. They did the caves, and then they did like the deep dark kind of separately because they were working on getting the new mob, which is like I think the toughest mob in the game.
Oh.
But which I haven't seen yet, by the way. But yes, so like
Core.
that finally exists.
Core has been talking about a potential Minecraft run for like 2 years now, and we were waiting for the Deep Darkened Caves. But at this point, there's like 5 things ahead of it on the list. I'm like, that's never fucking happening.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do it, like I'm playing on a server right now, it's pretty active at the moment. So if you wanted to, I could get you in.
Honestly, I don't. I didn't even want to do it with Core. It was just like, I guess. It's.
Oh, I see. I'm not even as good as. Oh,
No,
I see how it is.
listen.
You're not even as good as Core.
Listen.
Oh my, I'm gonna remember this. All right.
Oh my God. We're not married yet. With Minecraft, I put it off because if I started it when it came out, I would have dropped out of college. Because I was so into like house building in video games, I was like, this is infinite creativity. If I get into this, I'm done. I'm dropping out, and my parents are disowning me. So I cannot get into Minecraft. I put it off and avoided it.
Dishonor on you, dishonor your family, dishonor on your cow.
I put it off for like 10 years, right? And then when I finally did try getting into it, everybody knows so much that I'm just like not having fun. Because like everybody's like, oh, let's go get diamond real quick. And I'm just like, what comes after dirt? Do I need gravel at all? Should I be collecting gravel? And they're like, what? No, why would you be fucking collecting gravel? Where's your iron? Go get your iron armor. Where did you even put it? Why don't you have it equipped? And I'm like, I've never found iron. I'm just I feel so far behind in Minecraft. And everybody that's played it just has encyclopedic knowledge of it. That it's like, it's just not fun to play with others. But it's also just not fun to play games alone at this point. So it's like, I would need to find somebody that is as behind as me in Minecraft. And so with Core, I didn't really want to. But like, Core hasn't played in a while. Full hadn't played it at the time, although I think he's played a lot since then. It's something that like I've always been aware of, and I'm just like, I don't really want to. There's like so many other games I'd rather play than Minecraft.
Oh, like what?
I really want to play Baldur's Gate with people. I'm playing with Lost One now, but I'm planning 2 other runs. I want Core to finish fucking Final Fantasy. We have been
14?
Yes. She's started Stormblood. I really want to go through PSO episode 1 and 2 with Core on a private server. What's another game? There's another game that I'm forgetting. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I've never played through Valheim. I'd rather do that than play Minecraft.
I've also never done through Valheim. I've like completely spoiler free from Valheim. I was meant to play it with some people, and then like they decided upon themselves that they were going to play without me and other friends, and they just rushed through the game. I'm like, the thing is, like, that happens so often where when people are like, "Hey man, get this game, we'll play together," I'm like, you're a fucking liar. Like, that is my literally go-to reaction for people these days. I just like, I don't believe you.
Despite
Which is
your
another reason why probably that's...
despite your distrust for other people committing to your playthroughs, when you play Valheim, I'll put my Valheim bed next to yours, and I'll play it with you. I'd make time for it. As long as it's not during my stream time, I will be there.
All right, we're gonna start right after your shower. No.
Oh my god.
Let's see here. Valheim is good, but I've never gotten far into it. I've tried playing it like 3 or 4 times, but it never amounts to anything. I don't know. Also, these days, sounds like okay. Well, you guys have heard of my Minecraft situation, which is why I have very specific like times in which I'll do Minecraft.
I've watched Foss play a bit of Valheim. They really wanted to like get a sea creature in a pool in their base, which they fucking did, but I also know
I've also never played V Rising, so
V Rising. Oh, that's a game I'd like to play because I haven't done the new update. V Rising is fun.
I know. Well, I mean, I hear a lot of people enjoyed it. People got really into it. But also, it felt like a flash in the pan where they're like, oh, yeah, it's another building V game that's almost exactly like Valheim. And it was like gone after like a week.
It feels like
and it was another one of those games where people are like, they're like, hey, man, go ahead and get this game. We'll play together. We'll go get on a server. We'll do like stuff. And we can like PvP. Then I get the game and they're like, cool, we're done.
Well, okay. So Valheim feels like a Raft playthrough. Where like, yeah, you play it for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then you're done. But it's a game you come back to a few times. You play it once and then you don't play it for a year and you're like, man, I'm really feeling Valheim or V Rising and they've had an update. Let's go play it.
Regardless, it was another one of those situations where people are like, yeah, come on, man. Don't. I'm just so distrustful of people in video games.
Yeah.
I don't, which is also probably one of the reasons why I really am disinterested in Baldur's Gate 3.
Because that is a very heavy commitment game.
Correct. And then it's also kind of the reason why I haven't gotten Dark and Dark yet. Also where I genuinely believe that it's not a insignificant possibility that it gets shut down and then everybody spent a bunch of money on the game and it's gone after a certain period of time. So as long as people understand that they basically can 100% actually lose their purchase, then okay, sure, go for it, right? But I do know that people are putting like $50 in to get like the supporter editions. Like, you do realize there's a chance that it's just like that's gone, right? You understand?
Yeah.
Because they're going up to a very litigious company on their home turf. I'm not sure how that's going to go down. Right? So,
yeah, that is...
Because it's going to be in Korea.
That is an uphill battle.
Not in America. They have... Yeah, so it's just like, good luck.
I never played Rust or Ark. I did see Ark on like a super mega sale, so I got it in one of the expansions for like $6. Civ 6 is another one. Civ 6 is another one where, like, if somebody's like, I want to play Civ 6, let's do it. I'd be like, fucking yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it was definitely, I definitely, exactly. There's another one of those games where I know I'm not playing solo. Where I'm like, oh, hey, man, I'm just going to do some run solo. And that seems so boring. I want to do it with friends. And to get back to Nutty, there is only one game I've ever played where at the end of it, I'm like, can I wipe my memory of this game so I can play it fresh again? And I think the only person who would know what that game was Hunt.
For me, it was
I'm
Breath
not even
of the
sure
Wild.
if they were there for it. Okay.
I got through Breath of the Wild and it was just like, I want it again, but fresh, and I'll never have that. Which is why, when somebody streams Breath of the Wild, it is my absolute favorite game to see people play. And now Tears of the Kingdom too. It's such a physics-based game that seeing people go through all this stuff with like old school Nintendo polish and wonder that's just pretty environments, and also seeing just the deranged shit they do to solve the puzzles. I just fucking love it so much.
Okay. I don't want to diminish yours, but I feel like mine is actually very unique.
Mm-hmm.
The Return of the Obra Dinn.
I don't even know if I've heard
That
of this game.
is really
Return of the Obra Dinn?
Yeah, Obra Dinn.
Obra
It
Dinn.
is it is okay. It's one of those experiences where you understand the an art form, and what I mean by that is just like one of the few times where there's no way to adapt this experience in any other way other than it exists as it is. Like, it has to be a video game.
I see.
So it gives reason for the genre to exist, in my opinion. As in, you could only have this type of experience this way.
Okay.
You couldn't have it could be adapted to a movie or adapt. No. This has to be a video game. So
like the first thing I think of like that is
highly
Stanley
recommend it.
Parable.
The Parable is also another one I would say.
Okay.
Is really good. Yeah, Return of the Obra Dinn. It is an amazing game. Like, it is so good. Let's see here. Well, let's check it out on Steam. It has It has a 96% positive rating for
Hot damn.
20,000 users.
Hot damn.
Yes, it is a incredibly popular game. People love this game. The thing is, you get to play it once, and that's it.
Oh.
There is no replayability. You get to play this once. It is an experience, and that is it. It is 100% worth it.
Mhm.
Play it, you will love it. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and you will oh man, it's so good.
How long is it?
So good. Well, that is actually up to you.
Oh no.
So fundamentally, it's a type of mystery game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 6 hours, but you can take it anywhere from 4 to 8. I think
Okay.
is where you can really effectively do it. So it's definitely one stream. You would have to be pretty unobservant to go further than that. But it's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in general, and the thing is, when you do this, you're like, oh man, I don't want to ruin anything, because if you do play it, you'll come back to me. You're like, Lofam, you're right.
So I might play it someday. Not within the next month, but someday. I'm gonna write it down. Breath of the Wild is not like that. Breath of the Wild is very replayable. But there are parts of it that are. There's certain puzzles that you figure it out, you find out the gimmick. Once you know it, you just do the puzzle. And so it's really interesting to see how people do puzzles. Whether you did it easy and then you see the streamer do it and they're just fucking being an idiot with it. Or you struggled with a shrine and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see them struggle with it. And then they get in and solve it in 5 seconds. Because everybody comes to these puzzles differently, right? There's literally infinite ways to solve every one. There's in Tears of the Kingdom, there's one puzzle where there's essentially a Rubik's Cube in the room. But the pieces are disconnected. So you've got this one base piece in the middle, you've got 2 pieces stuck together off to the side, and you've got an L shape at the other side. And basically all you have to do is piece them together to make the cube, and then a door opens up. And most people see that and they're just like, oh, it's shaped like a Rubik's Cube. It looks like one. I don't actually have to turn the parts like a Rubik's Cube. I'm just building it. And they do that and the gate opens and they go through the gate. There's a video on YouTube of a guy. He gets there and he's like, I don't know how to fucking do this. And he never tries just putting it all together. So he tries making stairs with the Rubik's Cube pieces. And then he's doing bomb jumps off of the top step to go over this 100-foot tall gate that has space at the top of it to get over, but you're really not. They want you to just open the fucking gate by building the cube. And so he spends an hour just bomb jumping and like leaving to go get tools to bring back. Gets over the gate, and then there's a part 2. It's like, build these other 2 more complex cubes. And he just gets there after spending an hour getting over that wall, and he's just like decimated. He's like, I don't know what to do here. Because he just not a dumb person. He just didn't see the obvious solution, right? There's a shrine Sis is talking about where there's a minecart. It's on a set of rails, and it goes up a ledge. And they give you 2 rockets. The obvious thing to do is attach the rockets to the sides of the cart, one on each side so it's balanced, ignite the rockets, and go up the rail. Some people try to only put 1 rocket on. There's this clip of a VTuber who just, you know how when people stream, they're like not 100% on the game, right? Their attention is divided, and sometimes they would play better if they could just focus on the game. This person was like 20% on the game, 80% on chat, and just not looking at what she's doing. So she's putting these rockets like literally facing the wrong direction on the cart and just sending it off in the middle of nowhere and off the tracks like 5 times. And she's just like, every time something goes wrong, she's just like, wait, am I stupid? Oh God, don't laugh at me, chat. She puts the rocket on backwards the exact same way, and it's like, what are you doing? Just look at what you're doing.
Sometimes I do wonder if people are playing it up, basically.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
They're doing it on purpose to some degree.
Absolutely. And she might have been. This felt... I think this was like 18 hours into a subathon, so she was a little bit loopy at this point. It's a little believable. I think also with her, even if it's just like her hamming it up for stream, it's funny as fuck. It's so funny. There's a...
Oh no, not subathons.
Have you seen the video with
That's
Ame?
coming up, by the way.
Oh. Have you seen the video with Ame and
September
DSP?
is coming up, remember?
Oh yeah. Oh god. Have you ever heard about how I met Core?
No, actually.
So
I only assumed basically through VRC.
So it was September, and this was when Septembers actually were good, and they gave great deals. And so
Yeah, basically it was like 50%. Like, it was like crazy. I remember like the Lele ones where people were doing like thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Well,
because
so-
it was literally...
this particular September, it was your first subscription is $1 to a new streamer. If you have never subbed to them before, it costs $1. And so I was subscribing to everybody. At the end, I had like 46 subscriptions.
Damn.
And it was like, if somebody I watched regularly rated you, I was subscribing to you. It was September. It literally cost $1. And so...
It's a good way to try new communities for sure.
Yes. So Foss rated Core. She was playing Celeste. I subscribed. And I was like, I've never seen this game. I don't care. Somebody else I like is live. So I think I just left and didn't even hang around. Core looks at it after the stream. She's like, I got a subscription from this person I've never seen before. What is their chat logs, right? And so they click at the chat logs. Zero things in chat. I literally not said a word. They look at the follows. I don't even know if I followed her from this. I literally just subbed and left. And so she goes to see mutual servers, and I think she's in Foss and Lele servers, so she sees that. And she just DMs me from that, and she's just like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, what? I don't know, Yulin? Why did you...
Before all the bots, by the way.
Yeah.
So, could have been just,
And they were like, why did you subscribe to me? I was like, I don't even know who you are. You subscribed to me on Twitch? What do you mean you don't know who I am? Oh, it's September. That doesn't mean you subscribed to me. Well, it was $1. Why not? And so she was just like, she just spent like an hour or two going detective mode and being like, who the fuck is this guy? Why? I need to remember. We must have like seen each other in VR chat or something. It's just, nah, just September.
Okay. By the way, I have to be right back. I have to do some medications, and you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Be right back.
We are at the end of the walk. I will probably we go across this bridge and into the dungeon. And at that point I'll fix my trackers. Find a world to drop. Sis might join because he likes the after cuddling part. We are at 6.4 miles. I think we'll be at 6.5. It's very I love it. Cause Core was just so like, what the fuck? Who is this person? Why? Why would they do this? And to me it was just like, $1. Oh, this person's joining. Oh no. Oh, actually, we can't cuddle after. I'm gonna finish walking and then we gotta end. The work on the stairs is gonna start in 5 minutes. So, wow, this is ending at a perfect time. But yeah. I think I met you and I met Core way before you two met each other. And then you joined on Core for like food videos. I was like, yo, Nutty!
Fuck you.
Hi, Foss.
Fuck you.
Ah.
Fuck you.
Do you like Armored Core?
Yeah. Why?
Okay. You...
Do I sound mad every time I play it?
You sound mad every time you play it.
That's fair.
But then you like play it again the
That's
next
a fair
day, so I'm
assessment.
like, I think he likes this. We're almost done with the walk. We're almost at the end. Hi, sis. What the...
Why is that thing here?
You're a slut.
Fuck you.
You
Fuck you.
you looked at Foss, but when I was like, hi, sis, it looked like you were just like, like just pouting, looking away from me. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, how ugly he is. He's fucking hideous.
What? How could you
No,
say...
you.
Sis,
I
it's...
can't be here. It's
Sis,
too much. He's
that's
too
actually
gross.
really inappropriate to say. Oh my god, he left. Sis, I hope you can still hear this. That was pretty ableist of you to say, because Foss doesn't have arms.
Wow.
You don't have
But
arms.
what if? What if? Arm.
That's not an arm, that's a dick.
Oh, okay. Okay, but what about 2 dicks? No, that's one. Sorry. What about 2 dicks? There we go.
That's just chin stubble.
Oh, okay.
Your hands go into your chin when you do that. We're at the end.
I only slept like 2 hours because I woke up because I had to go to the bathroom, and then I had the instance where I woke up for a little bit, and then I became wide awake because I got up, and I was very mad about it.
You motherfucker. I like how Spacefish comes into your chat. You're like, go to bed, Space! Be responsible and sleep! And then you just like, yeah, I slept 2 hours.
Dude, I literally laid back down for a whole like hour and a half, and I couldn't fall back asleep. I was so mad.
6.6 miles.
Well, it's more than normal.
It is more than normal. And then I come here. Pins, this one. Behavior. Look at me.
Oh,
We finished walking, Lofam.
Alrighty then. Oh, hopefully somebody gets that reference. Oh my god, it's a Sisselden? You look much different than I remember. Now you're a satyr all of a sudden.
A satyr? What the hell?
What do you mean, what the hell?
You got the horns.
Not a satyr?
Yeah,
I'm just
satyr.
horny.
Nah,
No.
nah, he's a whore. That's what he is. Fuck
Normally.
Yes, Boss understands. He gets it. He knows.
Normally,
man.
we would
Hello.
go cuddle
Oh.
and talk to chat in the bean pack. However, my father needs to stay in the stairs to the basement. It's right outside my room, so you guys would hear a lot of just construction. So we're gonna end here.
Perfect.
However,
Let's go.
What if we're into construction?
no,
Yeah, let's go.
no.
Where's the
go.
construction ASMR?
However-
yeah, we can judge the construction by the sound.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
job.
We are gonna give one last gift to Ramus. We're gonna let him. We're gonna let him see this, even though I'm immediately getting off after this. Oh.
I'm looking disrespectfully. Amazing.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No,
You
look
look
away.
Like a spaghetti.
Don't. It's embarrassing.
Ugh.
No. So there's stuff on the treadmill floss that is like in front of me and it blocks my tracking. So my trackers are backwards on me. That's how I have decentish tracking while walking. But other than that, I'm gonna go. We did 6.6 miles,
What the
I think it
fuck?
was. I could still
Oh,
cuddle.
shit.
It's just I can't do it on stream.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. Wow, so you're just here for stream
Oh
then?
my god.
It's not me. It's
No.
Oh my God, sis.
Wow, he's such
I just-
a clout chaser. Oh my god.
I'm literally not. I just like
What?
being here and listening to you
Oh
talk to
my
chat.
God.
I'll just
And
be
then, like,
talking
sometimes
to
give my
you.
input.
Yeah, you and
Yeah,
I.
but that's, like, less
right now.
fun.
Remember this Arcadum situation before we were talking about?
Uh-huh.
All right, so there's this guy named Sisselden who, I mean, I
Nice,
just
nailed it.
You always knew. You always
Yeah,
knew.
there's this guy named Lofam. He's illiterate. He can't read.
Oh my God. We're gonna raid somebody. I'm gonna lay down in a world for a little bit.
Okay, well, everybody in chat, come get in VR with us.
If you want to get in VR chat with us, you can. If you're on the
Please
friends
do.
list already. Who is live?
Do it. If you're not on the friends list, add me. I'll invite you.
Pimple's live.
She is live.
She is live. Hikari's. We'll go to
Playing Dave the
Kimple.
Diver.
We'll go to Kimple. She's
Oh,
playing a game I like.
you like Dave the Diver?
I do. I don't like playing it. I like watching
I'm
it.
bored.
Dave the Diver. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's a good
game. It's a good game.
Chapter 3.
Kimple.
I've never played it, but I've watched a lot of let's plays of it, and it looks really.
I've watched a lot
The
of-
pixel art is amazing.
Oh yeah.
So
Here's
Oh,
something
it's
else
great,
that's
man.
fucking up with Streamlabs Lofam. I can't end the raid early. When I select somebody to raid, it's like I have to wait the whole time.
What?
I don't know.
That's kind of garbage. Man, Stream Elements is just seeming better and better.
Yeah.
So, where does it
Wait,
go
why do
on?
you
Maybe
use
could just-
Streamlabs of all
Because
places?
I was like, Streamlabs OBS is the shitty one that steals from other companies. So we're gonna use Streamlabs. And then everybody was like, are you an idiot? That's the same thing. And I was like, oh fuck, okay. Well, as usual, Yulin's a dum-dum. So that's why we use Streamlabs.
Yulin, that is. I'm so sorry that your brain cell seems to be constantly on vacation.
This is how I go through life.
You need to borrow one.
This is my constant state of being. No, see, but Streamlabs took stuff from other things. I thought there was Streamlabs and OBS, and Streamlabs OBS, you took that name and they were a third thing to try and confuse people. So that it was like, oh, if you're looking for Streamlabs or OBS, you're going to come to our thing, Streamlabs OBS, and that's how you're going to find it. I thought that was a shitty thing they were doing. I didn't realize that it was Streamlabs OBS and OBS,
Same
and then they
thing.
just renamed to Streamlabs, or it was like a group thing. So that's
chat.
bye. Thank you for keeping me company. I love you. Thank you for the reminder.
Fucking. That's amazing, Yulin. That's incredible.
Hello and welcome. Hi.
Hello, fam. This model's cute. Who did this model?
Gee.
Wow. You know, I should have known. I kind of forgot. He does a lot of this style thing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does very cute stuff.
He does the pancakes for people. He's actually working on mine, but like 5 other people's as well.
Have a good rest.
And they always
Geez,
say,
how many
and the thing
pancakes
is, like, they do it on their free time, right? Which
Yeah.
they have very little
Yeah.
of. So it's just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, that's fair.
oh,
Especially now because he's a teacher, right? And
Oh, I'm
started
still
Oh, he
live.
actually made teacher? I just know